breaking news or whatever. They're on another one. Gang, gang. Yeah. Gang, gang, emergency Zoom film at 11. Same 5 goons, same deranged obsession. This changes everything. Bro, it's page 47 of emotion they skin while half watching Yellowstone. Gang, gang. Squinting at 8-point font like detectives. Zoom so far and the pixels are screaming for mercy. Look at this, timestamps 2020, 22, my God. But they're yelling it like they just cracked Watergate. High five. Mike's been muted for 20 minutes, still barking. Circular logic, so a lot of time to seem impressive. Trust the plan, this is massive. Nah, fam, it's boilerplate and it's mid at best. Gang, gang. Self-appointed outrage, squad patting each other like they personally ended corruption. Gang. Dropping bombshell tea that's been sitting in pizza since breakfast. Gang, gang. Moral high ground speed run, they'll flip the script the second it's convenient. Gang. Same PowerPoint presentation, new day, same brain dead narration. Gang, gang. We're not obsessed, we're just passionate. 3-hour living yesterday's hoodie, passion in my ass. Why is he even breathing right now? Says the guy refreshing notifications every 14 seconds. Gang, gang. Playing lawyer on God mode, reading comprehension. Stuck in elementary, confidence in the stratosphere, case dismissed. They're screaming to the void, motion still pending but go off I guess.
Disagree? Obviously a paid shill. Actually read the filing, deep state plan. Laugh at them, you're clearly compromised too. Exist in the same zip code, suspicious behavior. Notify the group chat. Gang, 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 gang.
Tighter circle, smaller brain.
Gang, gang.
Echo chamber finally running out of oxygen. Gang, gang. Yeah. Gang, gang, acting the actual judge like it's group chat. Replay all meltdowns, labeled just asking questions. Got warned by the core once, that was a suggestion. Still get it the same screed like it's strictly trash talk. Gang, gang, we're above all this drama. While screenshotting, they on meltdown for content. Preaching peace and love while actively baiting bears. And fake shock when the bear finally bites back. How could this happen?
Gang, gang.
Synchronized tantrum hours. 5 tabs open, all the same screenshot. Different zoom levels, gang, gang. Premature victory lap over legal language, still can't pause.
Gang, gang.
Standing 10 toes on business until tomorrow's filing, send them scrambling again.
Gang, gang.
Hype the claim to the moon, then ghost the chat when it ages like milk. Gang, gang.
Gang, 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 gang. Gang, gang.
Refresh. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, gang.
See y'all same time tomorrow.
Gang, gang.
Don't be late.
And, you know, there's only one way to do this. And, you know, this is the best way to do this, because you guys get to see it second.
Venom, lady in black. She listening in the shadows, ready to attack. No warning shot, no polite hello. Has wicked grin and a toxic glow. She's dripping poison like gossip at brunch. Her sharp bite and you become her lunch. Sexy till you're twitching on the floor. She's smirking in your face, then comes back for more. Bite, bite, baby, better say your prayers. Venom's got stilettos and homicidal flair. She's vicious, delicious, a queen with a sting. The sexiest nightmare you've ever seen. Pucker up, sugar. Mama's venom tastes sweet.
Yes.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I even turned the big TV on so I could watch it in 4K. It looks amazing.
Thank you. It was fun. I showed you a little bit of what it took to get that thing happening.
Yeah.
Boy, some of those images were not YouTube's friendly whatsoever. Whoa.
Guys, I had a lot of body construction happening.
Yeah, I mean, she went from you know, having boobs to like having boobs. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh.
They weren't boobs. They were watermelon jugs. I could have fed Ethiopia back in the 80s.
Yes, you could. Hello, chat. How are you doing this evening? Yes, we are continuing on tonight with the with a wonderful tale that's been going on. And I mean, there's all kinds of stuff popping off. Paint Chips is filing joinders. We'll go over those probably tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to read them over. I did do some redacting. It's nothing new. If you see these, you're gonna go, oh, there's really nothing new here. It's just the same BS. We've already showed you what the emails were. That there's anything spectacular. That he's just adding in all of the emails and excluding all of his responses that were inappropriate. You know, he's excluding out what was prior to that. See, that's the beauty of it, because you know he's leaving out all the little bits and pieces. He's leaving out J Hip. He, for whatever reason, he just added me in there and didn't add in J Hip. Isn't that odd? Don't you find it a little odd that he wouldn't add the behavior that J Hip was exhibiting?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's saving it for more flooding of the paperwork to the courts. You know,
Oh
just
yeah,
another reason to send another 20, 30, 100 pages.
yeah. Yeah, because he looks like a fool. That's the problem, that he hasn't figured out, that he looks like a complete fool. Hey, how you doing, Kelly Ranger?
Hi, guys.
And so, you know, whenever he's sitting there going, I'm just like, dude, you're a convicted felon.
Yeah.
You're out here like threatening my family, my wife. You're threatening me, and oh, you didn't show any of that, did you, Paint Chip? I wonder why you didn't show that. Is it
why
because
is he holding that back from the court?
Well, I mean, it could be because, you know, the flea decided to hide all that, so he's not able to pull up those links to it. And well, but see, I already have those copied. You know, it also could be that, well, Volmit's, you know, channel got deleted too, but I have those also. So I have all the times that he's threatened me, threatened Tug, threatened Megan, threatened Jeremy. I have all of that.
Yeah. His
And
disgusting pictures.
Oh yeah, the pictures he was putting out there. Yeah, I have all of that stuff. See, that's the interesting part about it. And his communications with Paint Chip, you know, or with Bubbles. I have that too. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. You know,
Amazing how that works.
They tried to disassociate themselves with him, but yet they were still behind the scenes and emailing each other. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. They still have their whole little what the hell's ecosystem going on, still going strong, still trying to take down the big bad Jeremy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you know, Lynette says she's not connected to any of them, but yet her and John are in their chats, talking with them, all of them, all the time.
Oh well, and the best part's going to be watching them try to backpedal away from the crap that Stupid Dave did. That's going to be fun to watch.
That's going to be awesome, especially for Stupid Dave. Like, I can't wait to hear how he's going to explain, you know, his tale, his new story.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. You know, and you know, the only reason that they're doing this is because, you know, like I said, more than likely this case is going to be dismissed. You know, and you know, that's just my opinion. I'm not guaranteeing it, because I don't know what the judge is going to do. I think that Jeremy had some very good arguments of why this judge should be removed and why it should be brought to trial. But, you know, you have to remember that you're against a magistrate, that the district judge is usually going to follow what they have to say. And they might make some edits to what's going on. He could make it without prejudice. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think the reason that they're acting this way is because they need content. They actually need content, because they have no content themselves.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Hales, Lisa would not exist because she doesn't have, two brain cells that can, pound against each other in that mushy skull of hers.
Yeah, I mean,
They
her channel was barely holding 200, 230, and I'm being generous
oh
with
yeah,
the
views
crystal
per
stuff.
stream.
Yeah, and when
Because
people aren't lurking her, yeah, her numbers are way down,
oh
way down.
yeah. Well, and that's why she didn't go on her channel last night because
No,
she knew that it was going to it was going to look really bad, especially her responses. So she had to take over somebody else's channel, and talk shit over there, which was always good, because you get that too, and you get copies of that, and you're just like, oh, that was smart, good job.
yeah, and it I think she's doing her bestie a favor because her bestie pulled out as co-host, but it absolutely shows that the co-host is still very much involved in the same mudslinging and name calling
Oh yeah,
and inferences that she makes. So when Jeremy says he hasn't forgotten Victoria, he hasn't.
no, he's very much looking at all of these people and their behavior, and they're just looking to make it worse. Hey, Jen Thunder, good to see you. Good to see you.
No.
And again, welcome, chat, because we've got some of these. This is the part where it gets really, really damn funny, because I thought it was so hilarious that that Bubbles mentions Shizzy Wiznut in a court case. You know how stupid that makes him look? I mean,
I'm telling you, I would have loved to have been in the judge's mind or just seen what her eyes or facial reaction was. Was she like looking down writing? Did her face reaction change when she heard Shizzy Whiznuts?
here's the thing, Judge. Now, and I'll say this, it's Shizzy Wiznut at gmail.com. Reach out, Judge. Give me a call. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll introduce you to the sexiest voice on the interwebs. How's that? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll introduce you to the Yamaha biker, and maybe if you reach out to me, Judge, we'll have a nice long conversation, and we won't even talk about this court case. I'll just send you over all of the audio of my buddy Yamaha biker reading those open letters, and you can go to sleep at night all snuggled up, warm and cozy. It'll make you want to dress like Venom over there.
Exactly. Hey.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get this bad boy pulled up. I mean, it's yeah, like I said, it's absolutely crazy. But this one in particular gets really interesting because Deuce, according to what I'm hearing, and I've said this before, the Georgia Wow man, that's right, Wes. What I've been saying this whole time, that they don't understand is so far everything that Jeremy has said has happened in court. Whenever you get those actual documents, those beautiful transcripts, and if you want to help, Shizzy Wisnut, get those transcripts, you're welcome to hit a super chat. Oh, I forgot to put the super tips link in there.
Oh,
You can do
yeah,
the
you got
super
to do the
tips.
super tips. Could you imagine the voices sending in those kind super chats and super tips
Oh,
for help?
so moist justice. Let me get that up here because I need to pull it up, because there was one that came in at the very end last night from Welsh Lady, because she just loves to do it. I don't want to have to play that one. But let me grab that up there, and I'll actually throw it up in the chat and pin it. I have to go in, do a couple of things. See, this is what happens whenever I jerk around before a stream and don't pay any attention. Because I reached out to Venom and I was like, hey, you got a minute? Check this out. And she was like, okay, let me take a look. And yeah, I showed it to her. So she was, after I got done editing it, I sent her over a copy of it so she can use it on her stream.
Oh, yes.
And
It is going to be used big time.
yeah, that was
Kind of
so
plastic
much fun.
surgery or clothes designing. I'm coming to you, Shizzy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if women were wearing that, I don't know that they'd be able to, be allowed into certain places.
Yeah, some of those outfits were wow.
Yeah, I mean, she was wearing like a tea back in one of them, and
I think it was a tea tag, not a bag.
yeah, pretty much. All right, I've got the super tips pinned up there at the top, and if you're wondering what the super tips look like, I'm about to show you. They look just like this. All right, and here we go.
I had to use your voice, but I will buy tighter nipple twisters, spank you harder, and bring a generator as long as I still have my gorgeous green dragon and am your red dragon lady.
I love it. Thank you, Welsh lady. She sent that at the very end last night. But yeah, if you want to get that, love that Welsh lady reads. Yeah, she's absolutely wonderful. And she was one of those really odd diamond in the roughs to find. I mean, she was I was chatting with her and I ran into her somewhere else, and I was just like, I heard her voice, and I was like, oh, I got to have you for a Sunday night. And she was just like, okay. Yeah, and invited her. She came in, had a great time. I think we hadn't got to the TJ Finn stuff, which TJ Finn, we've read her books. Wow, that's awfully forward. I'm not that easy. Oh, you require dinner and a reach around? Well, I mean, I can supply the reach around, but no, dinner. No, not after what you did to my front porch.
Yeah.
Showing up at Tug's last night, knocking on the door. Shame on you.
Behaving badly.
Oh, and I did get the pictures. I don't have them pulled up. Those are awesome. Rogu Mama, you are the bomb. I'll see if I can pull one of those up because that was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, Rogu Mama sent them over to me yesterday, and she was just like, "Hey, you're gonna like this." I was like, "Oh, I loved them immediately." I was like, "These are the best." Well, the worst part is now I have to download them because I didn't download them. I just looked at them and responded to them. Let me see where. Nope, that's definitely not it. There it is. Let's see. We got this one, and I'm gonna have to. I got to download these because these are the best. And I was so impressed with the ability of some of you guys to do these things like super quick. Like,
we need the right idea and we run.
Yeah, I guarantee you, it is absolutely wonderful. And download that one, download this one, and save that one, and download that one, and save that one, and download that one, and save that one. What is I haven't seen this one, so now I've got to view it before I do anything. Oh my God, this is awesome. I didn't even realize there was a video with this. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Now now I'm going to be showing this to you because this is absolutely wonderful. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. Let me stop that right there. Cause now I've just got to show you, share the screen. Oh, this is so awesome. All right. We're going to pull up the entire screen and audio should be shared. I don't know if audio is going to work or not. It didn't last time, but this one here, look at this. This is awesome. Look at this. Did you hear it?
I didn't know.
Oh God.
Was-
I love it. I love it. That is so awesome.
When she
Thank
sent
you
it
so
last
much.
night, and when I woke up this morning, I seen the message, and I was like, "Oh my God, these are amazing!"
Yeah. Oh, that was absolutely wonderful. I was so impressed with that. I was like, that great. Oh my, look at them knees. Yeah. Oh my God. Welcome, Tug and Mug Raiders. Welcome. I think we'll miss the tornadoes, but maybe not the monster hail and 70, 80 mile an hour gusts. Oh, that's no fun. Yeah, be safe out there. John Wayne is going to haunt you. He probably will. Oh, I loved it. It was great. It made my day. Made me smile. Now I've got another one to smile about. I'm gonna be messing with y'all on now, because I'm gonna put that at the end of his dragon intro. That's what I'm gonna do.
Have him land into the ocean with his floaty.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was
Do like a Game of Thrones fall into the water.
like
Floaty pony saves him.
Yes. Floaty pony saves him. Man, Yamaha, get her up, cowboy. Oh yes, it is awesome. All right, let's get into this crazy bit. And I don't know if it's going to have everybody in the right place, but we'll find out shortly. Yes, it did. Add to scene. Let's see. I'm going to have to delete this one out of here and remove from scene and pull this in. And there we go. I put that right there and resize. So we have a nice, beautiful little box. You know, damn it. I've got her in a box. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
I can
Venom in a box. It's a new product.
Oh yes. All right. Let's check this out. Now I have seen this, but man, the comments that I was making during all of this, you guys haven't heard yet. Ooh.
Day 2 with Deuce on the stand, the first witness, and he incriminates himself, which will be used in future lawsuits.
Here in Ohio, where anything could happen. Literally anything.
It's been a month since we've been back to the Ohio court for the contempt hearings. 4 different hearings. 2 with Lynette, 2 with Crook. And George, what were you feeling before we got there?
It's never fun going to court. No one wants to see their unhinged neighbors. No one wants to hear their cringy voices, their raspy, cringy voices, or to see the tortoise green eyeshadow on their eyes. It's never fun. And so for me, my experience, like, it's always anxiety, the bubble guts, knowing that the law is on our side. Most importantly, God is on our side. It's still nerve-wracking.
And let's put the rest their whole defense, which, by the way, their lawyer changed their whole defense in this hearing, which complete insanity. He started to defend Lynette and Crook against the anti-What the Hell's ecosystems, stating that Fleesa, Deuce, Stupid Lame, Bonehead, Paint Chips, Vomit, and the entire list, Marley Huge, they were all using Lynette and Crook as pawns, All of this third party, yeah, it happened, but they were being used as pawns for fame and fortune.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, because you think about that. It's just like, why do you think, and I'm curious because I've never reached out to any, the attorneys like that. Do you think it's because they started emailing him nonstop with a whole bunch of crap and he thought that they were part of Jeremy's team?
That's a good question. I never thought of that.
And he thought that these people were working with Jeremy. I'm wondering if that's what happened.
You make a really good point with that because, yeah, I mean, he flooded every LawTube lawyer. He was mailing everybody.
Oh my! I'm curious. Traveling fools, good to see you, brother. I hope I hope you had a good trivia night. I sent quite a few people over there to go check out the Traveling Fools.
Yeah,
And they said they were having fun, so that's always good.
he had a great trivia night. I had fun when I went in there. He was even pushing my channel, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh yeah, fools, good people. I mean, that's the thing. You understand. Traveling Fools doesn't cover the same stuff that I do, but we still, we communicate more often than I communicate with Jeremy. So.
Yeah.
This is why I find all of whenever they're like, oh, you're in Jeremy's pocket. I'm like, which pocket? Because I mean, it must be a very small pocket because I'm a very short guy.
I'm still waiting to find out about the 401k, the vacation time. I keep asking. Jeremy's been very evasive. I'm kind of getting the runaround like Travis, Willis, and Shane, and the mayor. Those four guys, they keep avoiding me. I keep trying to ask who they are, and
yes, Yamaha with the raspy, gravelly, cringy voice. I knew George hated me. Apparently, Egyptian women are impervious to my vocal vibrations. Wait, that sounds wrong. That's so right. So true. So true. Oh.
Completely turned on the antis. Now here's the other thing. Nobody likes going to court. Nobody spends $500,000 going to court to stop somebody from doing illegal activity if they're profiting from that person doing illegal activity. See what I'm saying? So you've got Deuce, Fleesa, and the whole antis out there stating that we've made so much money. That's why we have them in court. We have taken them to court to...
Well, and if you have those lyrics stuck in your head, those lyrics actually come from the Butthole Surfers. Yeah. Wham, bam, lam, ding, dong. It is, it's about race car driving is what it is. And the singer for that band always impressed me.
Stop this. If we were making millions from this, if we were making hundreds of thousands, if we were making tens of thousands, we'd want that to keep going on. That'd be good business for us. The exact opposite is true. We have not made anything. We have thus far spent $498,000 just in legal fees alone, in current litigation and in preparation for future litigation. And today in court had a lot that is going to be used because a lot was said under oath for future litigation. What time did we arrive?
We typically try to arrive a half hour early, like we normally do with most meetings. Yeah. So for example, town hall meeting, we arrive half hour early. With court hearings, we arrive half hour early, or sometimes even an hour early, depending on when our attorneys tell us to meet there.
We were there half hour early, and at 8:38, we were actually in the outside waiting room, outside the courtroom, and we were all alone. Somebody came out and said, "Can we help you?" So, we've got a hearing today at 9 o'clock with Judge O'Connor. Just okay. And then at 8:48, by the way, there's
a lot of notes.
This is front and back in notes. This is just insanity.
You took front and back?
I had to. I ran out of front. I gave you more pages.
Oh.
8:48, our lawyer Eli shows up, and he starts talking to us, and he starts talking, and he goes, "Oh my goodness, I'm getting into closing arguments." I'm like, "Well, practice it. Go for it. Do your thing." And he was on fire already. Last month, he was on fire in the courtroom, and he did not disappoint today. He destroyed every witness. He destroyed Lynette and Crook under oath. He destroyed Deuce. He destroyed their lawyer.
Well, destroyed as in destroyed their credibility.
Oh, you sound like Deuce now going, "I said I wanted to destroy Jeremy Hales legally." And Eli goes, "That is not in here. This does not say legally." "Well, that's what it implied.
I said it 2 seconds later. Well, we're jumping ahead.
Yeah, we are. We should probably get back to when their lawyer actually shows up. He shows up 3 minutes before the actual hearing. He shows up at 8:57. And I talk with Eli about the dissemination of information which happened in the last hearing with Lynette, Crook, and Felisa, which was 100% illegal. And I said, "Listen, we need to know what's going to happen." And he goes, "I want you to have your phone by you, and I..."
Oh, and I, because I can't play the music, I did put a link right there, or just the name of it, and I misspelled it, so that way YouTube doesn't give me a hard time.
Right.
But if you look up that song right there by the Butthole Surfers, it has those lyrics in there. It's really cool. It's a really cool song. It was one of the whenever, what was it, Turtles was still around. I remember walking in there and I heard the album. I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" Like it really turned me on to those guys. Sorry.
I want you to have your entire following. Let us know immediately if anything happens. We are going to stop right here in the court case, and we're going to deal with this. Now, there are other things in court happening dealing with what happened before. We're not even going to discuss that because that's ongoing. Okay, so the contempt charges and the renewal of the civil protection orders, those hearings are done. So they're officially done. The hearings in regards to the dissemination of information through Felisa, in those hearings, that's not done. We'll talk about that when that's.
Oh, I didn't catch that the first time around. I'm gonna rewind that a little bit because this is quite important.
3 minutes before the actual hearing, he shows up at 8:57, and I talk with Eli about the dissemination of information which happened in the last hearing with Lynette, Crook, and Felisa, which was 100% illegal. And I said, "Listen, we need to know what's going to happen." And he goes, "I want you to have your phone by you, and I want you to have your entire following. Let us know immediately if anything happens. We are going to stop right here in the court case, and we're going to deal with this." Now, there are other things in court happening dealing with what happened before. We're not even going to discuss that because that's ongoing. Okay.
Oh, see, I didn't catch that all before.
That's going to be interesting. Oh.
Because all of the behavior that they exhibited before, that's ongoing. So that's why they're not discussing it. Oh, I wonder if that's why they're hiding so much. Jumping on other channels to try to avoid, letting out that they're looking at problems.
Oh, big problems.
Most definitely.
So the contempt charges and the renewal of the civil protection orders, those hearings are done. So they're officially done. The hearings in regards to the dissemination of information through Felisa, in those hearings, that's not done.
Oh, that's why she didn't want to show up. Oh, I could have totally showed up. That makes so much sense now.
I have all the evidence. I can
Oh.
talk and I know how to say just yes and no answers. Oh, where were
Yeah.
you then? She was on the list originally.
Yeah.
Where'd she go?
It's possible that her attorney, Lynette and John's attorney was like, oh, no. We're not calling you up.
Do you think it might have damaged them even more than the testimony of the people that were there? Is that what you're saying, Shizzy?
No, she would never be that stupid.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, this is somebody who could take the bar tomorrow and be a lawyer. So,
Yeah.
yeah, her
Yeah.
infinite wisdom and legal knowledge would, yeah,
So far surpass anything anybody has ever seen.
of course.
It's so awesome. Oh, I love it. Sleaze evidence is worth the shit paper to wipe the court's ass with. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, and that stuff is usually rough. Single ply. I think they just they took all of their old filings.
Wrote the paper together to kind of try and soften them up.
A little bit.
We'll talk about that when that's all done. But Justin arrives. And we're told, let me know immediately. We are going to go straight to the judge. We are going to let this made known. We are, we're going to take care of business. And at 9:12, the judge comes out and says, hey, I have to deal with another issue. I apologize. So we're a little bit behind schedule, which honestly, not too bad. Not too bad. Because their lawyer, Justin, is talking with our lawyer, Eli, and says, hey, you know what? I'm just going to call 4 witnesses today. I want Lynette Crook. I want Tina, who sold us the property illegally. Tina. Of course, we want her on record under oath because they're being sued for other issues. So this is incredible for us. Mm-hmm. And she lies under oath, just like she lied to McIntyre. And that's 100% going to destroy them in court. And deuce. Ah! Ah! Oh my goodness. And so we were actually talking beforehand. I said, Eli, these individuals have nothing to do with contempt charges or whether the civil protection orders are moving forward. I was like, why don't you just object to them even being witnesses and let's get out of here and let's be done with this. And he goes, yeah, let's see. I said, you know what? Hold a second. Deuce under oath. Oh my goodness. I was like, you know what? This actually may play out in the other court cases. I was like, no, don't object. Let it go forward. Never knowing how wise of a decision that was. He destroyed himself. Oh my goodness, the guilt. Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, as soon as his gum started flapping, he just threw himself under the bus. But we'll get to that.
We will get to that. We will get to that. 9:35. Mm-hmm. We're finally called in the courtroom, and the judge says to Justin, their lawyer, how many witnesses? He says, only 4. And he goes, if I am not at Skyline Chili today at noon, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
Where is there even a Skyline Chili in the area? I thought they all went out of business.
He may know something we don't know, but he don't know his clients, and he proved it.
He definitely doesn't know Deuce.
He proved that he was set up to look like a fool and completely and totally clueless of what was going on in court.
Well, and my suspicion is because, they've already said that they want to sue Sean Martin.
Oh,
wow. They've already said they want to sue Sean Martin, that they want to go after Feather.
Yep. And this guy, Justin, he's going to be on their list too if this ruling does not come down the way they think it's going to come down. They think this is going to be, the past verdicts are going to be thrown out. Everything's going to be, love and roses for Lynette and John, that, everything in the past is going to be reversed and they won't have any orders against them to stop them and keep them from speaking is what they claim. Like, I don't know when they stop speaking, but they say they've kept, quiet and they've held their right to speak is their wording. Yeah, no.
Mm, mm.
He's going to wind up on that
So
lawsuit.
court was supposed to start at
Yep.
9 a.m. And the reason why court didn't start until about 9:35 a.m. is because a sheriff brought in a woman into custody in front of the judge. And the whole time I was thinking, gosh, I really hope that sheriff brings Lynette and Crook into custody in front of that judge one day. Maybe soon,
It may happen
rather than later.
very soon. It may be happening very soon. So the judge does apologize. She says, I apologize for having you all wait. 9:37, the judge states, Mr. Weatherly, Justin, their attorney, says, I don't see any of your clients in the waiting room. And he goes, they told me they were waiting to get in. And he then says, well, she says she's in the waiting room, meaning Lynette. Mm-hmm. And the judge sees nobody.
So isn't that interesting how Lynette knows how to text while on Zoom? Isn't that interesting?
You mean she's been under oath before? In deposition stage, she didn't know how to do all this. Mm-hmm. The judge says, who's Tina Haley? Now, so everybody is on the same page. Tina Haley is one of the siblings that was the executor of the family trust, the Clark family trust, that owned the 70 acres that we purchased. None of the siblings had the money to outright purchase the property from the rest of the siblings.
Well, and I do want to say something about Zoom. If you've never done like a Zoom hearing, I've sat through quite a few of them, and what happens is whenever you've got a Zoom hearing, usually you log in early, just to make sure that all your sound and everything is working. You know where all the buttons are, and then what you do is you'll like a court reporter or someone for the court will come on. They'll make sure that you have like the correct name in there. They'll identify yourself. They'll ask you to change your name on there to make sure that you have the right name. Or if you're showing up just like as iPhone user 123, they're just like, yeah, that's not appropriate. You need to put your proper name in there. And so you put your name in there, and if not, they'll do it for you. And then what they'll do is they'll usually say, we're running a little bit late, but please stand by. So there's a possibility that they just had the wrong links to it. That does happen. And might have logged into like an old Zoom login or something, or maybe they didn't have someone from the court jump in there and tell them. So you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, I could see where that could be an issue.
Interestingly enough. Now, we overpaid for the property with the anticipation of really making it generate income for us where other people couldn't, and turning it into a dream home.
Oh, and I remember this too. I mean,
Exactly.
because I remember whenever they were first looking at it, they were just like, I mean, this place is rough, but it's huge lot. We're secluded away from people, so we won't be bothered by people. We've got a good barrier between everybody. We can build what we need to here as far as storage and all that other kind of stuff. And I think that's the only reason why they ended up getting the schoolhouse, because it just wasn't realistic.
Yeah, like originally their plan was to build the warehouse, and then when the Ark became available, that solved that problem. But he also was looking at making a bed and breakfast, because there's 3 foundations that are directly across, that are part of Tubetown and the extended area in that 70 acres too.
Yeah.
But he even talked about animal sanctuary too, which is where I believe, in my opinion, Lynette started latching on to his ideas with the treasure hunting and what he wanted to go into on that property as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So crazy.
Now that property has tripled, if not quadrupled, in value, and we have it up for sale. She sold us the property illegally after completely and totally refusing to get surveys. By the way,
Well, and when did they get the property? what was that, 20?
I they put the offer in, believe it was early 2022, and they moved in. I can't remember the exact move-in date.
No, because no, the reason I was wondering, because that was about the time that property values were actually really low. Like you
Yeah,
get property for pretty cheap. Yeah, 2020. So if he got the property in 2020, that just that investment alone could easily quadruple it. Because I remember it was around that time that we started looking at a place, and I mean, our property value has like skyrocketed since then.
yeah. And he was looking all over Florida, but he wanted a location that was open, that, like you said, that had privacy, that was reasonably priced to where if he wanted to expand or whatever, he wasn't paying a high price in property value alone,
Right.
but that was also central to Tampa, to Orlando, to all the areas that he was storage hunting and treasure finding. So,
Exactly. Yeah, and I because I do remember him that they were looking at something, because I went back and started watching all of the information, the prior that sort of led them up to moving to Otter Creek. And that was what really was interesting to me, because I was like, that is such I mean, that's a bold move to pick a spot in Florida, and that could easily flood, hurricanes, all that kind of stuff. Like, why would you move there? And then once he started explaining, this, we wanted to move to a place that was central, and this was all on video. It's not that I had any conversation. They wanted some place that was central, that was an easy hub to hit other places where they could do all of their storage collection, and then they could have their own thing there. The cell tower was a consideration
yep,
too, because the way that those cell towers work is, they lease the land, and they do it for a period of time. The prior owners probably got a single payout on that one. But that contract still carries over until the time that cell tower, the contract where runs out. And then they can renegotiate and come back and say, hey, we still want to use this cell tower. And if you say, no, I don't want you to have that cell tower here, they will actually come and tear that whole thing down, take it down piece by piece, and move it to another location. But that whenever that expires, they'll ask if they want, they'll just work out a new contract to renew that. And that could be, another 20 years, 50 years or something like that, which is ideal.
yeah. I'd love to find a place with a cell tower in my backyard that I would eventually own.
Well, and I mean, you wouldn't own the cell tower. They own the cell tower. You just own that land.
I just
So,
got some kind of sweet deal with it, to where Lisa has made comments that she was going to own the cell tower.
oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
She can't even own her own house. Why would she own a cell tower?
Oh, well, didn't you know they're going to get millions from Jeremy? He's going to owe them millions. They're going to bankrupt him.
Hmm. Yeah, that's not going to happen. they, they have pipe dreams. Well, or bong dreams, something like that.
Pipe,
Hey, when you're
bong,
selling a piece of
paper.
property, it is your responsibility as the seller to get a survey to provide that to the buyer,
Yeah.
which we said, you know what? We'll go ahead. We'll take on that responsibility. We just want to get on the property, and we'll take care of it afterwards. We then record her stating that she knows of the encroachments, and we have.
Well, I doubt it. I think he owns the property that the cell tower is on and leases that property out to them. That's usually the way it works, because I know this because I know people that have had cell towers put up, and you don't actually own the cell tower. You own the property that the cell tower is on. And what they do is they rent it. Is how that usually works.
That prepped and ready for court. She and the other family members are being sued for selling us the property with known encroachments. That's what makes it illegal. They knew the encroachments. A home had to be moved off of our property. Fence lines had to be adjusted. They knew the encroachments. That's what makes it illegal. Then her husband, Brian, comes on the property, trespasses, then destroys property, creating a cactus. Oh. Then we catch them hunting illegally on our property. Oh, then they call McIntyre and lie, stating, how can we get him arrested with a felony?
She trying to set you up.
Trying to set me up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As
Credibility of a witness, she doesn't have any.
No.
Oh, by the way, she worked at the Lark before we bought the Lark building, the old schoolhouse, and we have her employment files, and they shared with us. She was dismissed. She was fired for inappropriate behavior of the physical type with some of the clients. Now, if she has any issue with me stating that live, then she can file a lawsuit against me. It's defamation. Except we own the building. We have the files. We have the information. It's 100% true.
Oh.
So, who's Tina Haley? Well, Justin says, well, that's my second witness. Okay. Justin says, okay, I'm going to put her back in the waiting room. And she says, who's Bruce Manskin?
Manskin.
Manskin?
I think it's pronounced Manskin.
Let's just call.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They probably got a payout on a lease. The prior owners got a payout on the lease. That's what I've been trying to tell you is the way there's different ways to do those, and one of those ways is that they'll pay you all the money up front for a term lease, and then whenever that lease ends, you have the option, or they'll sometimes they might find that it's a bad location and they won't renew the lease, but what they'll do is they'll come and take down the whole cell tower, because the cell phone companies spend a lot of money on those things, and they'll just tear it down, make sure that all the little parts are fixed, and send it to another location if they find one that's better. That's usually how those work. It's very rare that Jeremy would own that cell tower, because just the way that those get set up. He will 100% own it. It's in the lease. Now that could be a possibility that it's in the lease. I don't know, but right now he doesn't own it.
No, and there was something said, but what I vaguely remember him saying about the cell towers, it would be something his children, by the time it would round up that way, his children would be the actual owners, because he probably wouldn't be here.
Oh yeah, but like I said, it's probably a long-term lease on it.
Yeah.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it is on your property. You do own it. They just have access to get up there to put new radios on them. I've worked those radios before, and it's absolutely insane. I do not want to ever have to climb up one of those cell towers. I've talked to cell tower crawlers, and they're just like, yeah, you get up there at the top of that, and it doesn't look like it, but that thing is swaying back and forth like crazy. I mean, you'll just be like, oof, oof, oof. Man, those things are scary. I don't have. Hey, Roz, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Call me tomorrow, Rosalind. We'll talk.
Call him Deuce, okay? Because we already know what he's going to attempt to do here, and so we'll just call him Deuce. So who is Deuce? Justin says he's my first witness, and we're going. Cha-ching! Please. Not only do we have McIntyre under oath in Ohio court, which will be used against him in Florida, Butt Chump under oath, which will be used against him in Florida. Now we've got Deuce under oath.
We couldn't have asked for a better witness list.
Oh my goodness.
And these are people that are coming on volunteering.
Voluntarily.
They weren't subpoenaed. They were coming on voluntarily.
Oh.
Not the smartest people in the world. Okay. So, judge says, Miss Preston, I'm renaming you. And she means that in the Zoom, she puts up her actual name.
Because her name was popping up as Zoom user 1.
Yeah. We are not on the record at this point in time. No. So this is all happening. This is behind the scenes.
Off-record stuff.
Yeah, off-record business stuff, we'll say that you got to get done. Housekeeping stuff. So at 9:40, we officially go on the record. And the very first thing I see, I have the monitor in front of me. You don't. George is allowed to sit now in the court because she has already been a witness. And so her testimony can't be tainted by anybody else's testimony. Where are you in the court?
I'm sitting in the very first row in what's called the back of the courtroom. And so there are screens for me to see. There's one to the left of me. There's one to the far right corner of me. There's even one straight ahead of me, but it's kind of corner where the attorneys stand when they do direct and cross-examination. There's a screen there too, so that there's 3 choices I can choose from. But the best view for me is the one directly to the left of me. It's a pretty big screen, and I could see him as well.
I don't know what you saw. All I saw was this huge schnoz with little beady eyes with glasses, with a sweater, thinking he's some kind of hipster, and he had earphones in that went over here, and this huge schnoz that took up the entire Zoom. Like, can you see his eyes? Can you see it?
Well, when you lie and you deceive people, that's what happens to your nose. It grows like Pinocchio. So what I saw was he was wearing some like thin turtleneck and then a button-up collared shirt. He looked business casual this time versus the first time he appeared. The first time he appeared,
dressed more appropriate this time for sure.
He was wearing some dingy brown hoodie and just looked like he rolled out of bed. And so he did manage to make himself look business casual, and his background was completely blurry, just the way Ransom has a background.
All right. The judge at this point says, I want to make it a reminder to everybody, because this is already being dealt with Lynette Crook and with Fleesa in another hearing in Ohio, that there are no recordings, no dissemination of information, and there will be a contempt hearing for all of those, and charges and criminal charges coming. And she says there's nobody to be recording and sharing information, and parties will be held in contempt if that happens.
Without authorization, yeah.
So the judge, at that point, why don't you take it away? Judge puts Deuce up on the stand. I'll let you take it away from here because it's hilarious.
So now we are officially on the record.
Well, being officially on the record, congratulations. It's still a number of weeks away, but it's still going to be your 70th. Not ashamed to say so. Never be ashamed of your age. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
942, where Deuce is under oath, and their attorney Justin stands up and he starts doing direct examination. And so he asks him basic questions like, can you state your name for the record and spell your last name? And then do you
remember what he said first to Deuce, though? He said, I'm going to ask you a few questions, very few.
He did say that.
And there was like 15. What's your name? How old are you? Where do you live? What's your occupation? How long have you lived there? So occupation, I'm attorney. How long? Since 1996. Where do you live? Massachusetts. And do you know Lynette? Which is Lynette. And we were way past a few questions. We were like 20 questions.
Well, yeah. Those are standard questions.
He said that with every witness.
Before we even got to any real questions.
And I'm pretty sure he used the same lines with me when I was on the witness stand, because he pretty much said the same thing to every witness. You know, if for some reason I ask a bad question and you're not sure, don't speculate. Just ask me to rephrase the question and I'll gladly do it. Like, that's like something he said.
That's part of his spiel. Every lawyer is going to have a spiel as they have somebody in examination or cross-examination. And so the funny part is I'm going to ask you very few questions, which there were very many questions, which we're thankful for.
1 hour later.
Very thankful for, because this is all recorded under oath on the record and can and will be used against Deuce.
What I found interesting, though, because on you know, when you're on Zoom, you have your name labeled at the bottom. He forgot to include Escuela.
Maybe we should do that for.
Oh, Yamaha. There was no Escuela on there for you, brother. You know, he could have put Escuela RE tired.
Zoom meetings.
So yeah, so he did ask what his name was, occupation,
foundational
and he said he was
questions.
an attorney, and he asked him for how long, and he had to think about it. He said since 1996, and he asked him, so where do you live? Where do you live? And he said Massa. Don't let me.
Massachusetts. I'll say it for you.
Okay, thank you. And then he goes, so you don't live in Florida? He goes, no. He's like, so you don't live in Ohio either? Like, that's kind of like setting Deuce up for failure.
Big time.
In my opinion.
Because the big failures are coming in the questioning. Huge. Illegal practice of law in Florida.
And so here we.
Hey, George, if you want some help, just think Massa, choose it. There you go. That'll help you out. Just call it Massachusetts.
We have an attorney living in Massa with no ties to Ohio, no ties to Florida. Why is he here on the witness stand? That's where he sets himself up and so throws himself under the bus. And he asked her how he became familiar with Miss Preston. Do you want to answer the next question?
He says, well, it's a long story, actually. I was searching for some law tubers, and I saw the Levy County story, and I felt like I could help back in March 2024.
Do you understand the hypocrisy of this? So Deuce puts out this storyline that we are using YouTube for bad neighbor story, fodder, income. And he literally tells the Ohio court he was on YouTube looking for people to talk about his
law scandal.
His
dude. Whenever I heard this, I was like, this sounds exactly like what he would say.
100%. How do you say ambulance chasing without ambulance chasing? I want attention for my case, but I'm going to look for people too.
I mean, you know, I understand that, you know, if for example, you think you've got a good story, you know, a really good story, you know, you might want to shop it around to some people and say, hey, you know, this is the bad thing that happened to me. You know, it could be any number of things. You know, it could be that you had, you know, a relative that was screwed over by the court or something like that. And you think it's a good story. And so you reach out to the people that understand a little bit about this stuff, which would be the law tubers, would understand and how to actually, you know, cover it, look at it, you know, objectively and cover your story. The problem is his story is absolute shit.
Yeah.
It is
lawyers to validate his case that a bar association of Connecticut, had said, no, you went against your own agreement with your client.
Yes. You added fees in there that weren't supposed to be in there. And got butthurt about it. And we're going to fine you for it.
Yeah. You know, he was doing
and it wasn't that big of a fine. And that's the thing. It wasn't that big of a fine. And he had to go and take some CLE stuff on it. Which is usually what happens whenever you get reprimanded by the bar, is that's what they do, is they're just like, you know, instead of like having it as like a permanent bar record, what it does is it shows up as a minor discipline and you've sort of moved on past it. It's super quick, super easy, and you're done. But the only problem is he wanted to fight it because he thought he was in the right.
Well, he also tried to turn it into a conspiracy. Like I recall Larry Foreman, the DUI guy, talking about it, and he thought that the newspapers and the news outlets, you know, were working with the judge, and the judge with the opposing attorney had, you know, made a deal behind closed doors. And the theory that he was putting out there of these conspiracies were so wild that, in other words, Larry was like, yeah, you have nothing, I'm not interested.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what everybody looked at. They didn't want to have anything to do with them. And, you know, it wasn't too long, probably about a month ago. Yeah, it was probably about maybe 2 months ago. Megan was showing, you know, Bruce's behavior whenever he showed up on Legal Vices and started stirring shit up, and Vices just shot him down and immediately. Was just like, yeah, we're not doing that here. I'm going to give you one chance to stop, because that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about whatever it is that you're wanting to talk about. What we're talking about here is we're talking about X, Y, and Z case. This has nothing to do with you, and you're going to stop. And he didn't stop.
No.
And Vices addressed it most appropriately and shut him down really quick. And that's why he didn't like Vices. Now, I guarantee you, if Vices wouldn't have lived in Korea and would have been stateside, that he probably would have tried to add him to a lawsuit also.
Oh, without a doubt. Like, he definitely had a thing against Vices, 100%. The same way he felt about Larry, the same way he felt about Jeremy. Like, it was all, you know, Megan and Tug and Larry and Legal Vices and anybody else he talked to were all, you know, they're all on the Jeremy train and had a thing against him.
Nobody cared about him. That was the thing. Nobody cared about him. He was an irrelevant part to all of it.
What I thought was silly is he was telling lawyers, I want to come on your show and give the legal opinion for the other side. That you have a lawyer who has their own show, and he's giving the opinion for both sides on his own. If he wanted somebody to bounce off of, he would have had somebody.
Well, if he wanted to have somebody to bounce things off of, he has a YouTube channel. He could have easily, you know, had one of these people on, said, hey, you mind coming on here? Because I want to talk about these legal issues. I mean, he tried doing Karen Reed stuff, and he made himself look like a fool over and over and over again, because he's an attorney.
He was trying to do like the man reporter walking down the street for the live reaction. It's like, what are you doing?
Silly.
Judge scandal, his mac and cheese.
Oh, and you know why he was doing the man on the street? Because he couldn't get into the court hearing.
No, yeah, and I think the only reason why he wanted to do it so bad and get in the court hearing is because Larry Foreman was in the court hearing and had connections to lawyers and stuff in the case, and he was just butthurt that he wasn't as popular as some of these law tubers that didn't want to hear about his crap and cheese case.
Well, and you know, I remember, you know, here's the thing. I remember Larry Foreman coming into the whole, you know, YouTube law sphere. I mean, he was already doing pretty well at the time. I mean, you know, he had a decent amount of subs, and whenever he joined up with Nick Rekieta, like his channel blew up, and people were really interested in what he had to say, because he has a way of keeping people entertained. And, you know, it could have been the absolute other way around. You know, I've seen people that have gone on with, for example, Nick Rekieta, that within a short period of time, their channels disappear and they don't go anywhere. I mean, there was a bunch of people that, and that's where the whole law tube came from, was from Nick Rekieta. because there were other people that were sort of covering it more of the true crime scene, you know. And whenever Nick Ricciardi came onto the scene of all of this, he was actually, you know, pausing the video, or he would talk about it during the breaks, or talk about it while things were happening in the court, and explain to people exactly what was happening, because there were people like, I don't understand what this motion means, and he would let people know what those things mean, what they're talking about. Plus, you know, he just has that ability to entertain people, and he
Yeah,
made
he
it
does make
entertaining.
it fun. I've watched some of his stuff on and off,
Oh yeah.
and he just has a knack. And you know, with the viewers, even with myself, people are going to either like you and want to hear and visit your channel and make it a thing, or they're not, and they're going to keep looking, or they're just popping in for entertainment and not really
Well,
looking at serious issues. So
well, and you have to understand that there were people that I still, you know, still watch today. You had, you know, you had what is it? Damn. See, all the names will mess with me. Now, I don't watch Legal Bites. She doesn't entertain me, but Legal Bites really grew her channel there. There was Emily D. Baker was covering some of the same stuff, and, you know, her channel was growing. Like, all of these people's channels exploded around Johnny Depp and Rittenhouse.
yeah,
And
100%.
and even Nick was just like, you know, he was, whenever he first started covering it, you know, and you're talking about someone that had maybe 1 to 200,000 subs, or maybe it was even less than that. It might have been like 50,000 subs. And he there was a time whenever he had more people watching his stream than was watching Law and Crime, or whatever that channel is, or Court TV. He had more people watching him than the people that he was pulling the feeds off of, and they struck him for it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Another thing Bruce did try too, when he was reaching out, if you look back at his old emails where he was trying to reach out to LawTube and all the law channels, he was also emailing Popcorn Planet, Andy Signor. Like, where in his realm did he think Popcorn Planet and Andy was going to pick up the story? So you wanted your case and to discuss the Hales thing with the law tubers, but then you're reaching out to Popcorn Planet, who, yeah, he covered Depp, but for the most part, he's an entertainment reviewer and commenter. So you
Well,
were trying to take it down a reality type show that you're accusing Jeremy of,
no,
because a lot of Andy's stuff early on was over that.
no, here's what these idiots think. And and I think they believe this with all relevance, that they think that this is going to be such a big story that they're going to be the first ones to cover it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this is really what they're thinking. We're going to be the first ones to cover it. I love Ricciardi, but his streams are too long, Colleen. Yeah, I mean, that is one of the things. But, you know, it depends on what you're interested in. If you were going to be watching a court hearing in the first place because you found it interesting, think about this. Would you have watched how many people watched the O.J. Simpson trial?
oh, I did.
That was on TV. And that was, you know, before YouTube was really a thing. Imagine if you could have watched the O.J. Simpson trial in real time on your phone, how enthralled you would have been in that.
Yeah,
Because, I mean,
especially to get the advice and what they were talking about in the
right,
legal terms that TV did not explain on court TV. You heard the court case, you watched the court case, but they did not really break down for us simpletons that didn't know what they were
exactly.
talking about.
Exactly. Or why did this happen? Why did they do that? Why did they say this? Yeah, I didn't like the O.J. Simpson trial either. I actually avoided it because I was on tour, which was awesome. I knew it was happening, but I was on tour, so I didn't watch any of it. And until I would catch bits and pieces of it, like news and stuff like that. But I was too busy to do any of that stuff. And that. So, but I really think that that's what their deal is they think that this is going to become a really big thing. And that's why they're out here trying to make themselves relevant in all of this. And it's just like, but they're not entertaining. If you want to be entertaining, be entertaining, bring up the court documents, talk about what's going on in the case, understand the minutia of some of the things that are being talked about, at least. But they're smarter than the lawyers, so.
Well, of course. And, they want to keep throwing out there that, Jeremy was trying to sell the bad neighbor thing. And they were even ticked off when he talked about Netflix and other companies reaching out to him and A&E that wanted to do the whole bad neighbors thing. And it's like, well, if he was really looking for money, he could have sold it out. But then Lynette could have also taken that route and tried to get something out there too. And it kind of works both ways. Why is a man going to go $500,000 in debt to make a story? He would absolutely never put up a cease and desist or tried to sue him because he would just let it continue on.
Exactly. Yeah, you could have easily just had bad neighbor, no lawsuit involved, just argued back and forth, been like Real Housewives of Otter Creek or some shit.
And that would have been interesting to watch. My own admission, if that train wreck was happening, I would pull up, get my popcorn, get my soft drink, and I'd sit there all day and watch it.
Yeah.
People love that kind of stuff.
Hey, little D, good to see ya. One of my buddies. Yeah, little D.
Story to the point where he even tries to get the judge to listen to this mac and cheese story, and she eventually tells him, "Shut up. No. This has nothing to do with this." He tried to get it all.
I bet he hated that.
Oh no!
I bet he hated that.
Well, Your Honor, you see, I had a case called Crap and Cheese, and I was just really pushed around by the system. The man held me down.
No, you understand. He does not like women.
No.
And if it's a woman in power, that pisses him off even more.
Do you think he mansplained her?
I bet he did. And she was just like, not here, not in my court.
Bruce.
Oh, I bet you he did. He fried his career. Yeah.
On the record, his stupid mac and cheese stuff again in Ohio court. Okay. You keep going.
So
she's trying not to laugh because she saw this happening in real time.
Oh God!
You can tell she is holding back laughter because she's like,
I can't wait for this transcript.
I know.
People,
oh my God.
People, super chats, super tips. Come on! I want the
transcripts. Super tips. We will end up getting transcripts. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear what is said about this.
You could hear Bruce Manskin talk as Cartman, maybe. Maybe we can get the Cartman voice for Bruce. Oh my God, that would be gold.
Oh, yeah, I was so happy that I took my bean sprouts and I put them in my mac and cheese. I was so happy. Respect my authority, Judge.
He goes on to say that, yes, he was searching YouTube for law tubers to cover his law scandal. So it's okay for him to have law tubers talk about his law scandal, but God forbid we talk about our law scandal.
No, what the hell?
With a horrible judge.
He wears Indians hoodies.
That needed to be booted, and the appellate courts agreed.
Even said that what Judge Grudge did was unlawful. That means illegal. Which, by the way, he said Judge Grudge.
He used the words Judge
on
Grudge.
the record.
I
So,
love it.
in other words, not every judge is correct, and therefore the appellate court agreed with us that he was doing unlawful things, and that's why he was booted. But he used the words that he found these contrived, indigent neighbors, and he stepped in to help them March of 2024.
You noticed something I didn't. We talked about on the way home. You noticed he was reading from a script he typed out.
Yeah, but we're not going to get.
Oh, we're not going to get there yet?
We're
Okay.
not there yet.
Well, let me get the one thing where we are.
Okay.
Lynette is on the screen. She has more than 10 bracelets here. She has more than 10 bracelets here, rings everywhere, and she's doing this
New
to the
rings.
screen again. I haven't seen this jewelry before. And she's in a bankruptcy filing where they just hired special counsel to go after every single penny, including every dollar paid to Justin to defend her in Ohio court. Justin doesn't even know it yet. They're coming for the money. He did all this for free. And
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yep.
And everyone's saying, what do you mean going for the money that he was paid? You have to understand, if the flea used the money that was supposed to go for Lynette to do one specific thing, okay, and even if it is Lynette's money that she's using for this, that's money that she hasn't disclosed. Now, what will happen is every single penny that went into that account, whenever it gets subpoenaed, whenever they pull all of the records from all of her accounts, and they start counting up where that money went to, they will roll back all of that money back into the account, back into that estate.
Yes, they will.
This
How
is
I
what I've been
understand
trying
it.
to tell them the whole time. They will roll back every damn penny back into the estate. That means that all that money that they were paying out to whomever they were paying it out to gets rolled back. And if they used it to buy bullshit with, say for example, that money went to this attorney. They rolled that money back in, and he used that money to buy a car. That means that rolls back into the estate.
Yeah. And,
All of it.
rumor has it that Justin was paid $20,000.
Yes.
Yep. 20,000. You're going to be losing, Justin. Bankruptcy.
Oh.
he failed for free.
So, in other words, with him saying that he wanted to step in and help, he basically admitted to ambulance chasing.
Oh, he does it
All the way from
verbatim later. He does it verbatim later.
And so he goes on to talk about this legal scandal because he represented a client back in 2013, 2014, and the federal judge of this mac and cheese corruption, he finally got the transcripts in 2023. He lays it all out, how he wanted these law tubers to cover his corrupt judge story.
And everybody's sick and tired of
And
hearing
wanted law tubers to cover it on YouTube. Do you understand what we're saying here? He wanted law tubers to cover his judge corruption story on YouTube.
but doesn't want anybody,
God forbid we do the
covering
same thing.
our judge corruption story on YouTube. Can you say hypocrite?
Can we say hypocrisy at its finest? But his nose may be too long to even see that, where he's just blinded by the hypocrisy. So then he goes on to talk about how he ran into this bad neighbor saga and he stumbled upon it searching YouTube, and he was appalled. He was appalled that other attorneys were involved.
I was appalled!
But he's an attorney. And he wanted YouTubers to discuss a corrupt judge story. Isn't he an attorney?
Other attorneys saw this story and they were just like, holy cow. Let's look at this and really start breaking it down. Now, see, here's the problem. Jeremy has all of the recordings on. He got all of this FOIA. All of this stuff with Grudge. I think Megan Fox might have been the one that pulled those, actually FOIA requested those, paid to get those recordings.
Yeah, they didn't even know who Jeremy was. Like, people that had, I believe, I believe Legal Vices was the first to cover the bad judge story, that eventually it channeled down to Larry, Tug, and Megan. I don't remember what the order was, but it was like, oh my God, you got to see this bad judge story.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
that,
this
that
is
was the whole thing. It was nothing about Jeremy or Lynette. It was solely focused on
the
this
judge.
judge and ex parte meetings and what this judge was doing. Nothing else. Nothing.
Yeah. It is so absolutely insane that they're sitting there going, "Oh my God, look at what is going on here." And I mean, I remember very specifically, I was on somebody else's stream and they were just like, "Have you seen this yet?" And I had no idea who Jeremy was. I had no idea who Lynette was. I was watching the behavior of this judge. I was like, he's not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, I started watching it because when Megan and Tug and Legal Vices were showing it, I was watching it for what they were showing it for, the bad judge. And they were pointing out why this judge was bad and what his behavior was. And like I've said in the past to many people, there's only certain things that what I call getting geeked out on, that draws my attention. And what this judge was doing, I geeked out on, and I was locked and sealed into this case from that point on, not
Yeah.
realizing that, because there is another Jeremy Hale that is on YouTube, not realizing Hale's Hale because he hadn't been in court yet. It was a name, and I wasn't tying in Jeremy from his
No,
channel.
no, and that's the thing about it. It wasn't Tug's channel. I did not go on Tug's channel. Oh, geez, until around Christmas
Yeah, I was gonna say it was
two
around
years
Thanksgiving,
ago.
Christmas of what, last year? Like right, but was it
Not
right before
last year,
the
the year
creek?
before that.
Yeah,
I,
Christmas in the Creek,
no, because Christmas in Creek was the year before that.
2024.
Yeah, it was 2024. They didn't do Christmas in the Creek.
No, they didn't
Um,
do Christmas in the Creek for 2025. That was the
or 2024. Well,
yeah, it
they
was
did.
20, yeah,
There was
2023 was Christmas in the Creek. You're
yeah,
right.
it was 2024 that I was on with Tug, but I was watching the old stuff. I didn't even know about Fed 1 until Deuce reached out to me and started riding my ass about that stuff and asking me to cover it.
Uh, if anything, they drew more attention to his action and the fact that he was emailing and doing things behind the scene that made him, especially when he started at going on the police channel, it was very apparent what was now happening as he talked to them and was discussing the case with that channel, and he was highlighting his crap and cheese. He never really cared about what was happening with Lynette or Jeremy.
Yeah. Jack's got that. Yeah, he wrote everyone in February of 2024. Yeah, and I mean, as soon as he wrote me that, and I responded just with an email. I was like, because I was actually sort of winding down watching all of what I had watched on. I was like, this is really cool stuff, and I was ready to just go on it. I was starting to cover the Laura Owen stuff and doing a whole bunch of other things, and I was really enjoying everything that was going on, and drug me into the middle of it. I was like, all right, well, let's see what's going on with this. And well, the rest
Yeah,
is
and
history.
look where we're at today.
Yeah, hanging out with all this fine people in chat.
Yes.
Yeah, it was so special to me. Yeah, I told him off. Yeah, multiple times I've had to tell him off.
Yeah, he's
Isn't it?
when he gets a propension to go after somebody, he's not very nice about it. For somebody who wanted to ingratiate himself on the people's channels, he was very pushy and very bold with his use of words and how he wanted to talk to people if he even got ignored for a few seconds.
Yeah. And Gwen Ferret says, I found your channel because Tug read your responses to Bubbles. Yeah. And it was interesting. There's nothing like getting a message from the wonderful Megan Fox. Like, and she was so nice. And I had never interacted with Megan Fox before, ever. And she reached out to me and she goes, I saw that you were included on an email, because she was included on that same email, and I responded to all. I didn't run in the same circles with Megan Fox or Tug or anybody. I just was doing my own thing, and I responded all. And she asked. She said, "You mind if we read these tonight, because these are insane." And that right there was what, and also DUI guy was, hanging out. It's like, did you see what this guy wrote? And even, I mean, I had that as part of my intro. It's like, who is this shizzy guy? Yes. But they had fun with it. And that was really cool. And I'm always grateful for, the boost that they gave me. I mean, but I've been here doing this stuff just the same as I always have. I don't think I've changed. Yes, it is a chef's kiss most time. And I was telling Venom about this last night. It's just like, yeah, I had to walk away from it 3 or 4 times. I would write it and leave and wouldn't send it. And then I would go back and read it and rewrite it. I wrote that thing multiple times because I didn't want to be pissed off whenever I wrote it, I guess the best way to put it. I don't appreciate people telling me how to run my YouTube channel.
Yeah, and not for nothing, I mean, we do see and hear how he spoke to Lynette, how he spoke to Sarah, how he had breakdowns, I'll say, in nicer terms, even with the other channel. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's not a, as Lynette says, nice person.
No, he's not.
Attorney that was talking about our
And welcome,
cases
early Tug Raiders, Mug
YouTube.
Raiders.
I was appalled. The hypocrisy is
Oh my
insane.
god, it's just so crazy.
Well, I called him Bubbles because he's a clown, like Bubbles the clown.
Oh, wait, no, the best part was, Shizzy, when early on, when you started calling him Bubbles and you played the Mr. Bubbles commercial.
Yes, I did. I forgot about that.
I loved it. That was so fitting. And I bet he had to be 3 shades of red just watching the screen going, that shizzy wizzy whiz nuts
Shizzy
guy.
whiz whatever. Well, and the thing is I haven't had any reason to write any letters lately because I was spent after responding to the full paint chip. I mean, I was just like,
Well, I mean, look at the size of the guy. You have to take time to write, pound for pound.
so bad. I don't think I covered enough poundage on that then. My
No,
letters,
I mean, they're the ones who even brought that term up yesterday in Whopper Boy's channel, talking about the phrase of, a pound of flesh.
yeah, and I that's the thing. I may have to go over, like I said, I haven't had a chance to go over his latest ridiculous filing, but more than likely I'll give it a nice good read over and then respond appropriately.
Oh, I definitely think you're going to have some creative letter writing coming off of that motion.
I don't know. Like I said, I saw that he just copied the emails. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty lame. That's pretty lame. If that's, and how is this handled, Jeremy? How does this involve Jeremy? So basically, I can break this down really quick. Yeah, not on long, but Paint Chips put your emails on this document. Yeah, he's stupid. And that's what I was going to say is like, how ignorant is this person that somebody it shows how butthurt he is. Well, he's used to this. He's used to being a little butthurt. He is so butthurt that somebody responded to him and they didn't kiss his ass. So much so that he filed responses in a court about somebody that's not involved in his shit.
Yeah.
That has tried to involve them. We're talking about a guy that's tried to involve himself in my life. I don't give two shits about him.
They're irrelevant. We're people, like you said a week ago. We're sitting around discussing a case, discussing the idiocy of how people are acting in legal procedures, some of which had a law license that derailed their own law license and wound up, in a federal boys camp.
Yeah. Well, we'll have fun with it. I'm sure. I can pretty guarantee it's gonna be fun. See how to just shake it off. Don't let me be shizzy.
So then he goes on to say that all of these law tubers were trying to uncover Judge Grudge, and he used the words grudge judge as if Justin or the
as if anybody knows any of this.
The judge knew what he's talking about. I found that
no
funny.
idea.
I was giggling as I was taking notes and talked about how this Judge Grudge was in Levy County and they were making him out to be a villain and biased. Well, guess what? The appellate court also found him as a villain and biased and agreed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When's he going to drop that narrative?
He's got nothing else.
When his nose gets small?
Do you want to...
No, keep going.
Okay,
you're doing great.
So then he goes on to explain how it was this huge storyline. How an attorney in Kentucky whose name is
Larry Foreman,
also goes by
DUI guy
on YouTube, started targeting the judge. Let me get
the
this
whining and the crying was insane.
So this attorney from Massa wanted LawTubers to cover his corrupt judge story, targeting the judge.
But Larry Foreman's not allowed because he's from Kentucky.
Yeah.
By the way, Larry Foreman's an incredible friend. We appreciate him.
Larry's hilarious.
Chandler. Very much so.
So then he goes on to say how the whole judge story was basically just to attack Lynette, Miss Preston, and Mr. Cook. And they made good characters.
In a good storyline.
And it grew legs. He said the story, the character and the huge storyline grew legs.
Wait.
That's what he wanted it to do.
Exactly. So why are they mad?
I don't understand that he wanted the story to gain legs and it didn't. The way that he wanted it to.
Exactly. It grew legs and it ran, and boy, is it still running, but it's not the way he wanted it to come off. And what did he expect? Maybe he should have looked into this a lot deeper and found out who he was representing and trying to sell to the public.
Here's the thing. I'm all for the underdog. But if the underdog is the one that is starting shit, they're not the underdog. They're the villain. Yeah. And all it takes is you to be able to look at the actual at what's going on and look at it impartially and go, yeah, something's not right here. You file a lawsuit against somebody while you're being deposed. You're freaking out saying, I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
You can't make this shit up. Like, lady, you brought a lawsuit against this person right here. you bring a lawsuit against this guy right here. You say this guy, that's the face of Mr. Meanie. So we'll just give him the mean look. Oh, Mr. Meanie right here. So you're looking at Mr. Meanie and you're saying he's picking on me. And then whenever we start looking at all of what is going on, it's like, wait a minute. So you moved across the street from him, intentionally stalking him, and you're mad that he's mean to you.
Yeah. How dare you send her a cease and desist letter for posting the things that we have read and shown that her and John were posting? How dare you, Lynette, be so opposed to this mean guy like Jeremy? Shame on you for picking on her for talking and saying all these defamation remarks and the slanderous and everything that she has done. Shame on you, you mean person.
I would have a different opinion about Jeremy. Had she not posted these signs up, had she not created all these Facebook pages, had she not gotten a restraining order in Ohio, had she not done all of these bad things, if Jeremy showed up and was just being an absolute ass to her.
Yeah, she might gain some sympathy, but you can't turn around and sue somebody.
She'd been living in this location for the past, 20 years. And, she's sort of established and she's really cool with all her neighbors. And, she's just out there doing her own thing. And then Jeremy comes along and starts picking on then you might have something, but yeah, exactly. Truck. How dare Jeremy defend himself?
Right? That it's so wrong of him. Jeremy, you're not allowed to defend yourself. You're supposed to let this person just continue on with their bad behavior that breaks the legalities of what they're claiming. And yet you're the bad guy. So
yeah.
And the sad part is she absolutely did it in Northport. I found Rosalind found patterns. I found patterns. She comes in all nice, all friendly. She plays the loving, doting neighbor that's watching out for her community. And then light bulb turns on, switch flips, and then it's the attack, the attack, the attack. Then the posts start, the phone calls to the cops. They're going the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like how dare you try to go and live your life in peace? You're supposed to make my life better. How dare you, Jeremy George?
Yeah.
Try to live your life in peace.
Could you imagine that? Give me $65,000 and I will make your problem stop. Is basically what that message read off to me that she said to Jeremy. Give me the $65,000 and I'll get rid of John. Your problems will stop and I could live here with my kid forever. I'll be happy. No, because 65 would have become another number and another number.
Yeah, and John would have been like, ha ha ha, look what we got out of him.
Yeah.
I thought Crook lost legs. He was wrapped up to his crotch.
He had multiple knee surgeries. How do you grow a knee?
I don't know, George.
How do you grow
I'm not a deuce. Haven't figured this out yet.
So then he goes on to bring up Shara's name. He said Shara Wolf was an advocate journalist and she was active on social media and she was possessive of all this evidence. And he connected.
He even said she.
Now, what this is where it gets really interesting, because from what I remember is whenever she was in Northport, Jamie Johnson showed up, and her and Shara go way back to some prior stuff. And so Jamie Johnson shows up. She helps her move to Northport, helps clean up her trashed out house so it can be put up for sale. Gets and leaves, goes about her life and And then Lynette makes whatever promise happens to her. So now she's got it in to get in touch with this journalist. It's going to write about her story, about how bad all this stuff is. And Shara, she was more interested in what was going on in the politics of Otter Creek itself.
Well, there was also a disconnect between Lynette and Jamie. Lynette and Jamie weren't talking, and Lynette began emailing Shara,
Asking, is she
claiming
okay?
Jamie's best friend. I'm Jamie's best friend, and I haven't heard from her. I'm worried about her. We haven't talked. And she kept emailing Shara as Jamie's best friend. Well, if you're if you're Jamie's best friend and you're not talking, I feel bad Shara missed this because I caught it when I read that message. Wow. I would have been concerned, like, if you're a best friend and you haven't talked to her, and obviously Shara was still talking to her. I'm sorry she missed that point, but she probably didn't take it as that, like, maybe something happened in that moment. But yeah, she, in my opinion, reading that, she was stalking out Shara for the attention for whatever was happening in Northport that continued on, where she just
Shara
wanted the
gets.
attention because she lost her grandkids to DCF in Northport.
You be safe. I understand. Oh yes, I completely understand that, Maroma.
She was integral. I wrote this down. She was integral for me.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't have done anything without her, basically, is what he's trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that he connected with her and wanted to formulate a legal team so that their conversations would be private and protected.
You hear that? That legal team, I would almost bet that original page probably had Shara listed on there.
Oh yeah.
Originally had Shara on there as the investigative reporter or some crap like that. And she's like, no, I don't know. I mean, the fleas are like, oh, it was just a temporary page. No, you wanted to be the PR team.
Exactly. And she said it several times in several different conversations and phrased it several different ways and then denied it.
Yeah, they were just going cha-ching. We're going to take this and ride this pony. We're gonna be like Yamaha biker on a horse.
Giddy up.
Or like paint chips in prison, over and over and over and over again.
Even stated that our conversations are private and protected. A journalist, an investigative journalist. No, not at all.
Nope.
Never.
So he contrived this fodder of a legal team so that these members of the legal team wouldn't throw him under the bus of what was coming. That's what I'm seeing here, so that their conversations were protected.
That's a good way of looking at it, George.
No.
Conversations are not protected, especially when you're not legal counsel for them. It doesn't work that way. So then he talked about how they had conversations and it was protected, and he was trying to find lawyers for them in Florida, and his relationship between Shara was to get documents and emails.
And Justin even asked, he goes, so Shara Wolf had a much greater understanding of what was going on than you did. And Dew says, oh yeah, she had 100% and I had 0%.
Yep.
Which is interesting because Shara Wolf testified on our behalf that Lynette and Croak were trying to get somebody to unalive us. Deuce, inadvertently, he confirms to the court that Shara is a better witness in this case than he is.
Yes.
He says she has 100% knowledge. I had 0. He just tells the court she's a better witness.
And an advocate journalist. He used the word advocate journalist. We usually describe her as the investigative journalist that Lynette herself reached out to and begged her to cover this story.
Yeah.
And that's what exactly she's doing. She's covering the story. It may not make Lynette look good, but she's covering the story, right?
The story is what the story is. It's real life, his story, history.
So then he talks about an exhibit of an email communication with Shara. And
Well, let's pause there for a second.
Okay.
Early on, Deuce told Shara, I want you to write this email, a synopsis of what has happened in Otter Creek so I can use it to go out and find lawyers for Lynette and Crook. Which, by the way, that in itself, first of all, he ambulance chased. You understand what that means. He went after them. No lawyer is allowed to go after a potential client. A client has to directly come after a lawyer. So he's illegal, 100% illegal. And he admits that further on in the cross-examination.
You have a good night, Max.
And then he tries to use Shara in a synopsis to actually get other.
And you guys, Max has all those documents up on his channel. Go check them out. Go check it out. Go give him some watch hours. It'd be awesome. Awesome. Thanks again, Max.
They're lawyers. Do you understand how inappropriate, how unethical this all is? So this email comes up where Shara was in the very beginning and she was believing what Lynette and Crook were telling her. And so Shara does write this email and says, hey, things are rough and they need help. Until she has all the evidence. And then she's in court and she goes, whoa, that is not what they told me. This is the reality. Jeremy Hales and George, their lives are in danger from these people. Okay, now go on. So we're all on the same page.
Yeah. Well, to this day, Shara's appalled that she ever believed them ever. Yeah. So as time went on of her covering the story, she recognized the inconsistencies with the story, the lies, and how they were refusing to show any evidence of what they were claiming. And so Justin brings up, he goes, Shara, when Shara testified, are you aware that an exhibit of an email between the two of you?
Day two with Deuce on the stand. The first witness.
I hit a button. Sorry.
Before he was ever legal counsel for her. So her, Lynette and Crook. So in other words, he just admitted that he ghost wrote a motion. He drafted
ambulance chased, which is illegal.
Yes.
Yep.
He drafted a motion for them, illegal practice in Florida.
Yep.
Of course, Eli's next question is, so you illegally practice law in Florida? And Deuce goes, no.
Yeah.
It was a simple 12-point It was a simple 12B motion. I'm not going down this road.
No, that right there, dude.
Wouldn't the word motion alone indicate that he wrote it as a legal representative?
Yes. that's how I would take it.
I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, that's how I just understood it. It's got the word motion in it, so that is written by a legal expert, somebody with a degree who went to school.
Yes, I hit the button. Is expert here? Yeah, he does that. Melissa Jane, good to see ya. Look at who's here. Good to see you, Melissa Jane. MJ.
Yes.
Yeah, it is one of those where, here's the thing. If I'll just use this example. If anybody should not be doing these kinds of things, mainly would be Deuce.
Exactly.
At all.
Like I said, there's other lawyers that are on the federal case. We've never heard not a peep from them. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't even one of the defendants in the federal case, he's a lawyer himself or something?
One of the yeah. That would
So
be,
I mean, not even like
two of them.
Obviously said or did something. I don't know much about that person, so I'm
two
not
of them are
or anything other than there are people who are still licensed that have not spoken that I've seen.
Yeah.
Two definitely. And here you've got people that were at one point legally on the case and just talking
well, you have two attorneys. You have MLS and you have Deuce that are both attorneys they're not filing anything in those cases. Doesn't that surprise you a little bit?
It does. It absolutely does, because Bruce has his own lawyer. So if Bruce thought what he was doing was okay, then why doesn't he have his lawyer on with him on his channel discussing?
Yeah. little odd.
So, no, it was a simple 12B motion. I'm not going down this road. No. I didn't illegally practice law in Florida. I wrote a 12B motion.
And then he tried to justify it by saying that it was something he wrote 2 years ago.
Doesn't matter.
He admitted to ghostwriting something 2 years ago without having a license in the state of Florida, drafting this motion for Lynette to use.
You know, I think there's a couple state bars that would love. Well, we'll just leave it right there. We'll just keep going.
So then Eli questioned, he goes, well, eventually you became pro hoc vice. And he said yes. And he goes, and then you withdrew from that case.
Deuce's own words. Now remember, in federal court, he claimed that Lynette and Crook fired him. Which let me be very clear. Crook is not a part of this. Crook just wrote a motion in federal court not too long ago saying my former attorney. Crook has never, ever been represented by counsel in federal
That's
court.
right.
The only counsel he's ever had is Justin here in Ohio court.
Yep.
And so, number one, Crook lied. Deuce never represented him. And number two, we have this whole aspect of Deuce stating that he was discharged. He was fired by Lynette. And here, under oath in court in Ohio, as Eli asked, you did practice for a time and you withdrew from the case. And Deuce's answer very simply was, I did.
That's it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Well, with Crook saying that Deuce was his attorney, I mean, that just proves that Deuce also ghost wrote those motions. There's motions that Crook submitted himself, whether it was him that wrote it or Lynette that wrote it, he signed off on it. And you compare it to what Deuce ghost wrote, you can clearly tell who wrote what.
Yeah.
And so he goes on to drill him into questions about, well, isn't it true that you didn't show up for the probable cause hearing and you didn't show up in person to discuss your conduct?
This is Deuce at this point. And he starts going down every which road. And the judge says, hold on. You are a lawyer. You know how this works. Answer the question. He's completely and totally reprimanded. Very appropriately so. Yes. And Lynette was very reprimanded as well. And very appropriately so.
And so Eli was asking him straightforward yes/no questions.
Talking about
and he's
Raiders.
backpedaling and giving nasty responses. At this point, he's getting hostile. And so that's when the judge was talking directly to Deuce. And to confirm my notes she says, you are a lawyer. You know how this works.
Well, you have to understand that Bruce is always wants to be the smartest man in the room. That's how he views himself, as being the smartest man in the room. That's why, you know, they realize that the whenever the Fleas and all these people were hanging out with you know, the little whole Anti-What the Hell's ecosystem was all hanging out together, that they were having conversation where Deuce is just like, they're laughing at us. That right there, he knew exactly what was happening. Thank you all, Tug and Mug Raiders. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming by. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up. Oh, yeah. Love you guys. Thank you, BBB, a lawyer who knows the law. Who knew? I'm sure there. Well, once it gets put in there, it's going to be hard to back out of it. Justin is a pawn in this saga. Yeah, somebody needs to enlighten him. Yikes! I don't know if he has a social media account, but he might just look as a curious observer. I don't know either. And I wouldn't suggest anybody reaching out to him and talking to him or anything like that. That's, you know, that is his job. And I am not interfering in an attorney's job to do their damn job. No siree.
She put him in his place.
She did.
Big time.
She did.
Big time. She don't play games. She does not play games. And she does not like what has happened to us.
She also does not appreciate that there's talking over one another, because then it makes it difficult for the court reporter to type it out and put it on the record. And so there's been times where I'm not waiting and I stopped, like during cross-examination. I knew exactly where the question was going, so I started to answer and I'm talking over Justin. She even put me in my place and said, just answer yes or no.
Me too. puts me in my place, and I get out of place, and I need to be put back in my place. So whether it's a judge, whether it's George, whether it's people that I love and I care about, they put me back in my place. Go, Jeremy, that was inappropriate. You're right. Let's get back to an appropriate place.
And one of the judge's jobs in her courtroom is to be that referee. And so she has every right to do that. Now, what Judge Grudge did is he went on giving legal advice and talking for 20 minutes in circles. Like, that's not his job and role as a judge. And so he goes on to ask him about in federal court, because he tried to use...
I might cover it a little bit tomorrow. We'll see. I still haven't read what he filed yet. I'll probably read it over before even if it's worth responding to. I mean, that's the main thing, just to see if it's even worth responding to. We'll see. I don't know why he would put me in there, because I'm not involved in this case. They keep wanting to involve me. Venom had some electrical issues, so we'll, if she's able to make it back in, we'll include her back in. But she had electrical issues. I think she maybe kicked a toaster in the water. Venom is having power problems. We'll try to come back. Yeah, there you go. T42 got it right there. Having power problems. It happens.
Dudes try to play on
Big time.
Try to use play on words.
Big time.
And so he kept saying, well, the courts asked you to appear in person. He goes, no, they didn't. He's like, okay, the federal court asked you to show up in person for show cause. And he just kept trying to beat around the bush with the wording.
Yeah.
And so Eli finally goes, and you didn't attend for fear of being arrested, correct? And Deuce goes, correct.
He put that in his filing, in his motion, fear of being arrested.
You understand the very first thing that the judge is looking at is credibility of a witness. Before you even get to testimony, what's your decorum? How do you present yourself? Are you credible? Have you been caught in a lie? Well, Deuce has already been caught in multiple lies. Lynette and Crook have been caught in so many lies. And we're going to talk about that because Eli's filing perjury charges, criminal charges against them in Ohio for perjury after this as well. Actually, filing tomorrow. And so credibility of witness is the very first thing they're looking at.
I can't answer anything to what his reasoning is for any of it. I honestly can't. This new file in the paint chip was the emails he copied of yours, Shizzy. Was those to the judge, or did he paint just want to include for the judge to see? No, whenever I responded, I hit respond all. And so those emails did go to the judge, but he didn't include all the emails at all, which is quite interesting to me. I glanced over it. I haven't read the whole thing, but I did notice that. He's been considerate. Not a 70-page motion, but 28 pages. Bah. Yeah, there you go.
And Deuce is showing no credibility whatsoever.
Uh-oh. So what's the news in Florida, Clark Stark? Have they figured out where you're hiding at now? Good to see you, Clark Stark. Hope you're doing well also, sir. Hope you're doing well also. Good to see you here, and thank you for coming on by. Wow, paint chips being considered with the 70 pages. Storms are probably rolling through your area. Could be anything. Can hardly wait till the transcripts come out. Yeah. That and that's what I'm doing. You're welcome to send super chats, and I will use those super chats to get a hold of those transcripts as I possibly can. And then what I'll do is I will read the transcripts, but I won't show them. Isn't that going to be awesome? Because why would I give that away to the fleas? No, sirree.
He didn't show up. A judge ordered him to show up in federal court. Yes. And he said, no, I'm afraid of getting arrested. And the Ohio judge now hears this. What do you think another judge is going to think about a lawyer who didn't show up in court when they were court ordered to? What do you think the credibility of that witness is now?
I loved every minute of it, and I'm thinking, go Eli.
Oh, he was on fire.
Go Eli.
Oh my goodness.
Embarrass him.
I was about to stand up and testify. I was like, hey man, hey man, hey man, sing with me, George.
Make a fool out of him.
Yeah, oh my goodness. It was
just the backpedaling and the play on words made me love it. And I stopped taking notes, and I'm like, I did the Home Alone expression, like, like, what is he doing? What is he doing?
The judge. Remember, when we first met this judge, Eli told us she never, ever shows what she's thinking. This judge, in all of these cases, has shown what she's thinking. When Levy County Sheriff got up on the stand, her jaw dropped with what they were saying.
Well, so did Justin.
With, their own lawyer. And when Deuce gets up there, you see it in her face, like, when Deuce is up there, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, right away, you could just tell that he's scum. He's a scummy lawyer. He already admitted to ambulance chasing. He admitted to ghostwriting. Now he's refusing to show up in front of a judge in federal court when he is the one who signed up to be pro hoc vice to represent Lynette.
Yeah. Deucey, you didn't think we were ready for you in court to put this on the record for future litigation? We're more ready than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, we don't forget the criminal schemes that he's setting up.
Oh, yeah. You mean the criminal schemes they said that we're involved in? Oh, okay.
The criminal schemes he's involved in. Okay. And so Justin at this point objects, and I'm like, no, don't object, because he objects to relevance. But
yeah, we are loving it. Please don't object. Let him go. Let him keep going.
Talk. Let him flap his gums and talk.
Please.
And so
we'll see if it's worthwhile.
You know, I'm trying to address his credibility.
And the judge says, I will allow it.
She said, I will allow limited questions about this. And
well, he can't keep the nuts out of his mouth. That's the problem. Won't they put the transcripts from the show and use that? Or are they not allowed to use that information, period, since it's not considered free speech? What show? What transcripts would they be pulling from what show? See, I'm not going to let them screen cap it, so I won't show what the transcripts are until after you know they get it, that you know they're welcome to go get the transcripts just like I'm welcome to go get the transcripts, and you know they can maybe they can pay that high dollar lawyer for it. Transcripts from YouTube, but they'll never get it right. They'll never get it right. That's the beauty of it. Because you've heard us read transcripts, right? Oh, thank you, Colleen. And you know, we've got Colleen that just donated for the transcript money. We'll be using that for the transcripts. We are up to a beautiful whopping $30 in transcript money so far. We are just cooking along. Thank you for the super chat, Colleen. Yeah, like I said, I only have to multiply that times 1,000, something like that. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. We will hit it. Thank you very much, Colleen. We appreciate you. And you know, don't have to donate if you don't want to. That the super chats are always free. Will transcripts only be available to involved parties since it's protective order? No, you can request the transcripts. You'd have to contact the court. Once that case is over, you should be able to get those transcripts. And she's involved in the case, right? She can just reach out to them. And she's the integral part of the case. So, I mean, I don't see why she wouldn't want to get those transcripts, get her hands on them as quickly as possible.
And
the judge then looks at Deuce in the Zoom and says, answer the question.
You know, and here's the thing. The reason why she won't get the transcripts, because if they show the transcripts, they're going to prove everything that Jeremy said was right. Another $10 here is help. Thank you very much, Hereinafter, for the $10 super chat. That is always appreciated. We have got that thing up. We were just cooking along now. We just got that bad boy up to another $40. Woo-hoo! Yeah, we got a ways to go, but I do appreciate you. Thank you, Hereinafter. No, this is the problem, that they won't read those transcripts online. They'll pick and choose what they want to read on those transcripts. But they won't read those transcripts online because they know how bad that they got hammered. If they truly believe that they didn't get hammered, they would read those transcripts from front to back. And I don't think they'll do that.
And so Eli pretty much drops the mic and pretty much proves to the courtroom that Deuce has zero credibility.
None.
Yep.
Zero. And he goes, Your Honor, that's all the questions that I have. And then Deuce is like, that's it?
Wait, I got more.
You have more?
Oh, I have so many more. Where are you at?
I have to where he says that's. Oh no. I take that back. He brings up to the judge that he wanted to address Deuce's credibility. So then Deuce talks out of pocket and he goes, "That's it? You want to prove my credibility of fear of being arrested?"
Shane.
Oh, and he starts screaming and yelling.
And the judge stops him. She's like, "You're not the one to ask the questions."
Yes. And then the questioning keeps going on. Eli still.
Oh, actually, absolutely. It does feel much better to be in a place where law enforcement isn't out to get you, where you have a lot of security around your property. Yeah, that's why I keep security around my property. You know, I've got plenty of security. That's the best part about it. I know they were saying they were saying bot to show. I was inquiring about once Shizzy, Meg, Tug, and whomever reads it on their channel show, would they be able to pull the YouTube transcript of the? Yeah, I know what you were saying. No, that's the thing is because I tend to ad lib things too, so they would never get the full transcript. And if I wanted to, I could just turn that ability off where they wouldn't be able to get it. We will see.
Was asking questions, which you do have, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the next question I have is you were messaging Shara, and he goes, "Those were private."
Yeah. Shara's communications.
All right, so we're at the same point. We're at the same. I got to turn a page.
We'll
so then
get
he
you
said, because he's trying to use play on words to make it sound like it was private. But guess what? Facebook Messenger and Facebook, it's a third-party platform. There's nothing private about Facebook.
Nothing.
Correct.
And so he goes, yeah.
Not to mention she's a journalist, so nothing's private. It's all evidence.
So then he goes, well, then you had digital communication with Shara. He goes, yeah, it was on Facebook Messenger. Again, nothing private about Facebook Messenger. Facebook is a third-party platform, and nothing is private about Facebook. So then he asked him, he goes, so are you the one who put together the...
Well, welcome, 10 chickens. Most definitely. Yeah, it does happen. It does happen. There was probably a lot to talk about, especially with Felicia losing her mind. So I appreciate you guys coming by. It does happen. And sometimes shows just go long. Like tonight, we're going a little bit longer because, you're having fun.
The anti-what the hell's ecosystem? He answers no. When we have exhibits and have shown exhibits.
The exhibits are already in the judge's hand in court.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. When you
100%.
testified, that exhibit was shown.
100%. We already have the exhibits. And Eli goes, okay, well, you want me to go grab the exhibits? And Eli says, you wanted to create the anti-what the hell's ecosystem, didn't you? And Deuce finally says, yes, I did. And then Eli goes, you wanted to destroy him, correct? Deuce goes, legally? And Eli goes, no, there's no legally here. Let me read this to you. It is already in the court. It says, I want to destroy this man and his YouTube empire. There's no legally there.
Yeah, if he would have said legally in there, but that's not what he said. He said he wanted to destroy this man and his YouTube empire. Before they got started, basically, all in good fun. Hey, there's nothing wrong with derailing. We do it. Oh, I've got, if you haven't been here the whole time, I got something special for you a little bit later on. And everybody that was here early got to see it, but you'll get to see it again.
And then he goes, well, the federal court just threw out a whole court lawsuit based on that quote.
Well, I guess.
Thank you,
Deuce
Morel.
answered, I guess, when he asked him.
Well, that's when we get to it, because Eli goes, you would agree with me that you reached out to YouTube. You would agree with me. You wrote this. And he finally goes, yes, I guess. And then it was YouTube. And then it was what? And then it was, and we could go on. You can keep going on.
So then, that's when Deuce tried to backpedal again and justify it by saying that the federal court just threw out several cases, which isn't true. Right now,
it's being appealed.
There was a recommendation sent.
And Jeremy corrects what he's saying here. Just so you guys understand that what is happening is not an appeal. What it is they filed a motion in response to this, and then it'll go before the Judge Hinkle. Judge Hinkle will make that decision whether this case moves forward or whether it's done and over.
Nothing has been dismissed.
Oh, it's not being appealed. We have objected. It has not gone to the appellate courts yet. But I use the term appeal so you understand, because everybody's not court savvy. We're objecting to the referral of dismissal, which appeals the wrong legal term, but you understand. We're saying, no, this isn't right.
And also saying that the judge is biased because he threw in, that judge has thrown himself in so many ways with his recommendation.
Oh, yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is pretty sad.
I thought he'd end up being a good judge, but...
So then Eli asked him, isn't it true that you reached out to YouTube to have content removed on several occasions? And he responded back with, first he mumbled, and he had to think about how he was going to answer. He goes, I had one. It was one occasion, and it was a video talking about Jeremy Hales wanting Miss Preston to be art.
Great.
Which isn't true.
Which is not true. Let me be very, very specific. They have made false allegations against me. I am a firm believer if you make a false allegation against somebody, and you know it's false, that you should live out the consequences of whatever that false allegation was. Meaning, if it was found that I was guilty of arping somebody, graping somebody, and that I had to do 50 years in prison, the person that falsely accuses me of that should have to do 50 years in prison for the false allegations, the false accusing. And maybe that would stop the false allegations and the false accusing in our world.
I think it would.
They should have to live out the consequences of what they stated falsely, knowingly, willingly, maliciously about individuals. I've never said anything. I would never, ever want anybody to be arped or graped or anything else along those lines.
Good to see you.
So here's an attorney with zero credibility who refuses to show up in person to show cause in front of the...
I do have a whole lot of sheep here tonight. I hope they're having a wonderful time. Don't flock off on me. Pure driven snow. Don't eat the yellow snow, Heather May. Bye.
Judge to discuss why he shouldn't have his pro hoc vice status removed and why he shouldn't be sanctioned, took what Jeremy said out of context and twisted it to his narrative, his contrived narrative. Do you guys see the pattern here?
Yep.
Do you see the pattern? And so one occasion is false.
Oh, extremely false. I don't. Well, we're not gonna talk about all the business damage that Deuce and his husband, Tamara, have done to our business. But we're not going to get into that. But it's completely and totally false, and we have all of the evidence to prove that it's false, and that'll be in yet again another lawsuit.
Well, just don't say it's past your bedtime. Steve 42, my chaser. I'm odd. For stayed in Oklahoma tonight because he lives there. Oh, nice. Love Jeremy's stream. It answered my questions of who contacted who in this whole mess. Yeah. You meaning what?
So then Eli asks him, isn't it true that you reached out to Whatnot to try and pull their business contract? And he's saying no, that it was their attorney who emailed Whatnot and he was CC'd on the email.
Okay, I'll play the song for you guys because I know you're jonesing for it. I know you're jonesing for the song, so give me a second and I will locate it and I will play it for you. Give me just a second. So, if we're going to be playing, we're going to be playing like little lost lambs. Then we should have the appropriate music for the little lost lambs. Let's get it right here. Oh, I forgot I wrote that one. That one's going to be a good one too. I haven't even played that for you guys. But you wanted the sheeple song, so I will give you the sheeple song. Let me just go ahead and do this just for you guys. We will pull it up over here. Of course, Venom isn't with us anymore, so we're going to remove her from here. And we'll do this and this, and we will play the sheeple song for you. I hope you're ready. Here we go.
They're sheep.
Oh yeah.
Something's off in the flock tonight. Wolf sitting funny, tail tucked tight, calling everybody sheep with a polished little speech. But there's paw prints all along the beach. You bleed real loud about who's asleep while sharpening teeth under borrowed fleece. I can't keep my eyes off it, well, no, that halo slipping kinda low. That's a bad disguise you're wearing there, a little extra fang in the pasture air, crying sheep while you creep real deep. wolf with a bong in the shepherd's keep. Bah, 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 sheer deception, wool so thick it needs inspection. Bah, jokes for the blood runs deep, you're howling loud in a borrowed sheep. You were mad, you were slick, you were playing meek. That fleece don't hide the carnivore streak. We graze on facts, you stalk in deep. Bah, wolf and sheep. Gather gossip, knit up fear, then bear those fangs when the flock gets near. Rambling sermons about who's asleep, but you're pacing circles, counting sheep to eat. Calling names from a haystack throne, but your howl keeps slipping through the tone. It's past your bedtime, hardly, chief. We see the chicken skins under that fleece. Ba, 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 ba. Like it's a lead critique, but your howl echoes every week. By disguise, by mystique, eating chicken skins ain't unique. We graze wide awake, we don't sleep. You can't howl loud in a flock that peaks. Bah, bah. Who's really bend? Who's really tame? Who's playing shepherd in a predator game? You howl at the herd, call us naive, but the zipper's showing we don't believe. Sheer insanity, wool too cheap. Halloween mask in the flock so deep. Oh. Oh. Ba ba ba, sheer drama, fleece falling off. Oh mama, you scream sheep like it's a lead critique, but your howl echoes every week. By disguise, by the mystique, eating chicken skins ain't unique. We graze wide awake, we don't sleep. You can't howl loud in a flock that peaks.
Yes, yes. Thank you guys so much. Yes. That is the sheeple song. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. And also, big shout out to the New Zealand Kiwi Kip Creeper for your bail fund or a bottle of something to celebrate when we see the antis, LMNOP, MOQ, quiet, Z, etc. get their comeuppance in court. And from everything that I've seen, it looks like that comeuppance will be coming, and it's going to be very interesting to watch. All right, let's get back to the video. So much for a nice break. And if you're still here towards the end, you'll get to see something really cool. Highly appreciated and very, very cool. And I think you guys will like it. I think you guys will like it quite a bit. I hope that you do. Well, we'll see. You'll just have to be here for the end of it.
An email that Deuce wrote to Whatnot representatives, which then was sent to Randy, and Deuce is trying to say that Randy contacted Whatnot.
Sorry to hear about that.
Are all from Deuce. Which, let me be very clear, we had the largest Whatnot contract that we had ever heard of. Okay, we know many people. So Whatnot came to us and said, if you will sell on our platform, we will give you this much money, which is not uncommon for people in our position as influencers.
Thank you.
After all this communication, Whatnot said, we're pulling the contract. We're not going to do a contract. You can use our app, but there's no more money. That was a very significant sum of money. The largest contract that we have ever known of with anybody in our sphere of influence. It is very, very significant. And they got it taken away.
So he does admit to being CC'd on the email and just responding. But the response was so inappropriate, so unethical, that that's what prompted them to pull the contract And there was even emails that were shared publicly online, and he bragged about it.
Very much so. Let me brag a little bit as well. The reason why we can give away free gold and free money, and what's our largest giveaway we've done? We've given away $2,500. We've given away almost $3,000 in gold in our auctions. The reason why we could do that is because of the contracts, because we try and pass it on to you. And personally, even I'm going to state this as well. That money that What Now was paying me, none of it went in my pocket. I gave it all to my employees. My employees got it all in bonuses. All of it. Not one penny stayed with me. So Deuce didn't hurt me. Deuce hurt George. Deuce didn't hurt me. Deuce hurt Deanna. Deuce didn't hurt me. Deuce hurt Christian, Patience, Pepper, Salt. And the trickle-down effect can keep on going.
You
I
rest
wasn't
well,
using the money.
Miss Combs.
I was giving the money to those that help and
Miss
support me.
Crumbs.
Now it's gone.
So then he talks about, didn't you participate in online forums calling Jeremy a psychopath? I didn't get the full content.
Psychopath douchebag.
And he said, yeah, he didn't deny that.
He goes, it's accurate. That was his response. It's accurate.
Who is he to determine whether someone's a psychopath? Like what medical
You get
background
some
does
rest,
he
Mama
have
Shauna.
in order to diagnose anyone, let alone you, the guy that he wants to destroy YouTube empire, a psychopath?
Then the questioning goes into Fleesa.
So then he asks him, he goes, isn't it true that you are associated with YouTube channels like Two Lees in a Pod? You collaborate with them, and
Let's stop promoting the channel. Let's not say the actual channel. Just say Fleesa. I'm not editing it out. Just say Fleesa. You understand, these idiots, they get off on us saying their name.
They do.
They don't care what context. They get off on it. So I don't want to use real names. I don't want to use real YouTube channels. Use the names that we've given them so that we don't have to say their real names and their channels.
So then he talks about how, yes, he does join YouTube streams and he's collaborating the true story with Fleesa about Lynette and Crook. And then he asks, weren't you the one who introduced Lynette and Crook to Fleesa? And
he starts stuttering like crazy again. He's caught in another lie.
so then he asks him, isn't it true that you reached out to Vomit? And he goes on to bring up Megan Fox's name. He said he found him because she was on a panel with him. How would he know that?
I saw Vomit with Megan Fox, and I thought he was a good journalist to connect with. At this point in time, I look up. Crook is finally on the screen, living in a tent. Now,
Well, I will say that seems really weird because didn't he reach out to Gingras? I'm pretty positive that he also reached out to Gingras, and it's only he went looking for people that Megan Fox or that he thought Megan Fox had a beef with. That's what he did. He reached out to these people, recruiting them. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting that he would reach out to get all of these people so that way, oh, well, if I can get somebody that used to be around Megan Fox, and well, who's this guy? Because Megan Fox's stuff was far back enough that he would have had to go way back to find that person.
it potentially could be a camping chair with a cloth over top of it, but I honestly think he's still living in the tent. Now, word is he's in the shed, and Lynette and the child have gone into the camper, which is being repossessed. Literally, it's in the process right now. But Crook is in a tent on Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like a canopy that they
Okay,
have there.
canopy, tent canopy.
Mm-hmm. So then he says how he thought he was a good journalist to cover the story, and that he later found out that he's just profiting off of it. Is that what your notes say?
He was good to connect with. Eli says he publicly stated JH is a virtual mob, and Deuce says undoubtedly, and then says, okay, well, what about paint chips? Isn't it true that you connected Lynette and Croak with paint chips? And he goes, I think Volpe led paint chips to them. It wasn't me. And then it goes on. So you have actively participated in Fleeca's fundraising for Lynette and Crook, correct?
No, that's too broad of a description.
Eli then says, did you donate money to Lynette and Crook?
Well, a small amount for the current council.
You realize we already know that he gave money to the last fundraiser and said, I hope this new lawyer kicks there and you can honey buns, you know what Crook loves on me. And so we already know that. Lynette told Tina, Tina told us. We have the entire record. We have all the evidence. Oh. There's nothing we're going in there that we don't know. We're not asking questions. Eli is not asking questions he doesn't already have the knowledge of. You don't do that in court.
A small amount for current counsel.
Remember, there's $1,300 in a PayPal for them to get legal counsel in Ohio that Deuce established.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So when I went back,
not only did he establish that, they also did another fundraiser for their bankruptcy, and that was paid for by Deuce, according to the paperwork. So how many times? 3 times that he's helped set up or done fundraisers for attorneys, and has he been shopping around? They're shopping around for them as an attorney?
up a little bit, because when he asked Deuce, isn't it true that you actively participate on panels with 2 Fleas? He goes, I wouldn't say participate. How many hours?
Oh, hours and hours of participation on those channels. Yeah. Not so much anymore, because he realized it was going to start looking bad.
Hours and live streams have you seen Deuce on Fleeca's panel?
5 hours, 6 hours,
multiple,
7 hours, 8 hours. Now, my personal theory is the snow ran out, the money for the snow ran out, and therefore they don't go all night anymore. Now it's 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. They ran out of snow. So they can't stay up all night anymore. That's my personal theory. That's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. That's why it's changed
interesting
the amount
theory.
of hours. But he was on there for hours. The night before federal court, he was on a 6+ hour live stream. It is in the court record. I call him out on it. Because he goes,
how much time a day do you spend looking at Lynette's social media?
I went, well, you just spent over 6 hours on Fleeca's live stream right now defaming me before we came into court here, and it's nowhere near. We're talking mere minutes a day versus you spending hours all night. It's on the court record.
So Deuce lies and says that he wouldn't say that he participates, even though he spends hours on their panel. So he perjured himself. He perjured himself, and he's trying to be slick.
There's criminal perjury charges coming. They're being filed tomorrow, per what Eli told us when we left.
He's trying to be slick by using play on words, and so that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And so then to confirm what you said, he does ask about actively participating with Fleeca in raising money, and he says no. But wait, his answer, he contradicts himself. He goes from no to I donated a little bit and I collected money for Lynette and Crook for their bankruptcy. But you literally just said 2 seconds ago, no, you didn't participate in raising money. When 2 Fleas did share and participate part of that. They're all a part of it.
I am told
it's all on the record under oath, and it will be used.
So then Eli goes on to ask Deuce.
Oh my goodness.
I have Sean Martin.
And that's what I have next. You also connected Lynette and Crook with Sean Martin, did you?
No! Making Liable Simple, MLS. He appeared as a guest in June 5th, 2024. And we were all discussing legal action to take against Jeremy Hales. And Martin, he volunteered.
Wait, so you're worried about us on our channel talking about our life, what has been done to us, discussing legalities. But then Deuce admits under oath, on the record, he went on a full panel talking about what illegal action could be taken against myself and George.
Yeah.
With making liable simple.
But wait, don't worry, guys. It's okay for him to do that and to talk on YouTube about it.
That's fine.
But we can't with our own lives.
You realize if we were ever found guilty for any of this, that he will be found 10 times more guilty. Fleeca will be found 1,000 times more guilty. You know, this is a double-edged sword that they want to play with. Jeremy and George can't do it, but we can. It does not work that way. The law is the law. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. If it's illegal for one, it's illegal for another.
So then Eli, he does, just to confirm with what Jeremy said, he does talk about how he appeared as a guest on a YouTube channel and was invited by another YouTube channel. Mind you, he's doing all this on YouTube, but we can't do it.
Yeah. No.
Lord forbid we talk about our lives on
Go
YouTube,
figure.
but he's on YouTube discussing our lives and other people's lives.
It's appalling if we do it.
Appalling.
So then he goes on to say how Shara was on the panel and they were discussing this machinated PO. He said that right in front of the judge. A machinated PO, a machinated protective order. In front of the judge.
The judge.
The judge that wrote the PO.
Not too smart.
The same guy, the same attorney that the judge had to remind, you should know this, you're an attorney. The same attorney who lost credibility based on the questions and the fact that he refused to show up in front of a federal judge. How do you think the judge felt about hearing those words, a machinated protective order, from an attorney? This is an attorney.
Not for long.
He's degrading the judge to her face in the courtroom.
Yes.
He's not going to be an attorney for long.
At this point, he's just going on rambling, word salad, and it to me, it looks like he's reading a script. Because I look up, and I'm like, this sounds too calculated and too robotic. And I look up, and it looks like he's reading a script. And then Eli tries to stop it because all he did was ask him a yes/no question. He's going on and on and on with some story, a machinated story that he created and scripted and he's reading off of. And then Eli asked him, he goes, you are aware that Sean Martin withdrew from Lynette and Crook's case, Ohio case. And he's going on and on and on. And he goes, yes or no?
And Deuce is going, yeah, just as a contempt was coming from this court, it was illegal, it was machinated, it was this, and he did it on purpose, and we have legal action against him. And the judge goes, hold on! You answer the question, yes or no. Deuce gets put in his place yet again like a whiny, crying, little, sniveling baby with beady eyes and a huge nose.
Yes.
Pathetic.
I would have called it something else,
not even call him a guy.
Jeremy kept it clean.
Pathetic individual.
Yes, the judge had to remind Deuce, who's an attorney, how to behave in her courtroom.
Hilarious.
And so Justin, their attorney, speaks up and he objects. And the judge sustains because I think he objected based on relevance.
That's right,
so the
T42.
judge does say sustained. So then Eli goes on
Which
saying,
we could have objected to Deuce even being a witness based on relevance. He has no witness to any of the contempt things that have happened. He has nothing to do with the extension of the civil protection orders. But we wanted him on the stand. And frankly, we wanted Fleesa on the stand
You're
for
as well
future
going.
litigation.
yeah, where was she with her mountains of evidence?
Yeah,
Why
hard to
didn't
get
she
the
show
yes
up?
or no.
She was on the witness list. Why didn't she
Meat
show up?
dust think somebody is scared of.
Do
Very.
you think she's afraid to turn the
very
camera on? Because she would have had to turn the camera on.
Well, it's not just about turning the camera on. She, and we've said this before. She is an absolute chicken shit. She wants to talk the big game, but backs down as soon as her feet are put to the fire. See that you've seen this before. All of these folks are just absolute cowards. Whenever their feet are put to the fire, they're sitting there talking this big game, saying, "Oh, we've got so much evidence. We're going to bring it up in court. We're going to show everything, all his bad behavior, and how much Jeremy lies." What happens whenever you're given that opportunity? You just don't show up. So you didn't have anything in the first place. So what you're claiming here is there was nothing that you had in the first place. All your evidence was a nothing burger. Hey, Heather, how you doing? That's all that they're saying. Flea is a typical loudmouth. Yeah. But she fits well there in the villages. I'm sure they're happy to have her around. Because if they didn't have her around, where else could you lose a child at? I mean, their claim of a child, huh?
Appear in court. I think you're onto something, Jeremy. I think you're onto something. And then Eli goes on to say, isn't it true that Sean Martin withdrew because of your behavior?
You.
And he brings up the email that Sean Martin wrote to Deuce.
And Justin immediately object. And so sad.
Thanks, so perjury.
The
Go
judge
well together.
Sustained, which means he doesn't have to answer the question. And I wanted that answer. I wanted it so bad because the email was already submitted as an exhibit.
Well, we've also shared that email on this channel as well.
Yep.
It was right around the time that, you know who motivated me to share that email? when Volmant reached out to our attorney's partner, who has nothing to do with this case, and when the attorney said to stop contacting him and his firm, and he said, "You're not the boss of me.
Not my mommy. My mommy pays for my housing and all my bills, and you're not my mommy. And I'll go into Men's Warehouse and I'll put on suits and take pictures and leave the tags on so everybody thinks I have something and I am something." He's nothing.
So the first Ohio attorney that represented Lynette and Crook withdrew from them, didn't want to represent them, wanted nothing to do with this case because of Deuce and his behavior, his unethical behavior as an attorney.
Proving it, stating it in writing.
So then Eli goes on to mention how the federal lawsuits, Fed 1 and 2, he goes, you testified earlier, you mentioned federal lawsuits, Fed 1. He goes, yes, Fed 1 and Fed 2.
Which the judge Justin, they have no idea what Fed 1 or Fed 2 is. Nobody else except for us, Eli, and Deuce know what Fed 1, Fed 2 is.
Yeah.
He said you testified and you referred to helping in litigation, participation and observing, and you were.
Don't make me hurt you, Stacy. Oh, you might like it. You might like it. Shame on you. Enticing that old bastard to do vile things to my front porch.
Counsel in Florida as litigation.
Well, Eli goes, "You admitted to helping in the case." And he goes, "I didn't say that." And he goes, "Well, you helped in Florida." He says,
"Well, sometimes just here or there."
You would agree already that you said you wanted to destroy this man, Jeremy Hales.
I meant legally.
So we get back to destroying Jeremy Hales.
Yes. You do a better job of this part. You want to continue?
Not really.
I can't be that whiny.
So then Justin comes back up. So there's examination, cross-examination. Then Justin gets to come back up for, I don't know exactly what the term is. It might be rebuttal examination. But Justin comes back up and he says, "You need to turn your alarm off or it's going to keep buzzing every 5 minutes."
Right
Justin comes back up and says,
Y'all.
"Have you threatened any physical harm to Jeremy Hales?" "No." "Incited others to do the same?" "No." "Do you mean any physical harm to come towards Jeremy Hales?" "No." "Do you mean legally you want to destroy him?" "Yes." "Did you write that for Lynette or for Crook?" "No." "Okay. What's a federal lawsuit? What's this Fed 1?
"Well, I got involved with Lynette's protection order, and it was being used to brutalize her, and he made tens of thousands of dollars off of that. It was appalled. And then Wes,
Wes replayed
2 weeks. Oh, and then it was the deposition. They were being replayed 2 weeks ago. Megan Fox and Shizzy Wiznut."
Yeah. He used the word shizzy wiznut in the courts, as if anybody knows what that even means.
"They motivated me to find her a lawyer."
He literally said, under oath, on the record, "Shizzy Wiznut."
And admitted to helping her find a lawyer. So he solicited.
I'll check it out, Chad. Oh my God. He literally said "Shizzy Wiznut" in a court. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't make this stuff up. No, I'm sort of disturbed by it. Really, to tell you the truth, I'm slightly disturbed by it. I mean, really, wow, just wow. Like, I mean, you better famous now. I'm famous in Ohio court. Oh, Deuce. Oh, you really gotta be in your bonnet. Oh my God, you're killing me, brother. Oh, Crystal Blue Waters, thank you so much for the gifted membership. And it looks like Harry Dog got it right there. Thank you, and welcome, Harry Dog. You know, I think that deserves a song while I check my messages.
Welcome to the shit show.
Oh, yes. Every single day.
A new flavor of thundery.
Cause everybody sucks to see they're dumber than a bag of rocks.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. All over
again. Thanks, Jen. And yeah, they'll find out. They'll find out whenever it all comes down. You have to remember, Jen, they don't have anything that I haven't heard before. They honestly, they don't have anything I haven't heard before. They like to say vile things all the time, and it's like this is how these people are. They can't help it. They're stuck there. They're stuck in that position, and they will always be in that position. And there's nothing that they're just shizzy whiznut. Yeah, there you go, Kathy Stewart, shizzy whiznut. You should be proud. Yeah. I'm in their brain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and do it all again. Ah, yes. It is Shizzy Whiznut's fault. Blame him. He's responsible for everything. Dog will hunt. Just saying, gang. Oh, yeah. We got a cool little thing I'll show you here in a bit.
Yeah.
Eli objects at this point. He goes, listen, Florida isn't under the jurisdiction of Ohio. We're here for protection orders. This is Ohio's jurisdiction under legal residence for protection orders. We are here to talk about contempt of the protection orders, and extension of the protection orders. That's it. And the Deuce is going on and on and on in circles about Fed 1. And the judge says, all right.
In a Florida motion all in 1 week.
Summarize this Fed 1 in 3 sentences. And Deuce literally says to her, can I have 6? And she goes,
4.
I'll give you 4. Now, this is where it gets interesting because Justin even puts him in his place. Deuce goes on and on about Fed 1. And it was the signs that called him a arpist, and his friends saw it, and it was only his friends, and nobody else saw it, and it was at 7:30 in the morning. By the way, do you realize never once, not even one time Deuce has ever said Lynette and Crook didn't write the signs and put the signs up. Their own lawyer has never used the defense that they didn't do it.
No.
He knows they did it. They did it. His defense has been nobody saw him, so it doesn't matter. So at this point, Justin cuts him off. He's going on in circles and stupidity and whining and crying. Justin, their lawyer, cuts him off and he says, "You are way over. I am cutting you off." And he goes, "It was just one long sentence." And the judge says, "No, you're done." And I'm going, yeah, baby.
Justin does cut him off. He's like, "You have surpassed your 4 sentences," and he's like, "It's one long sentence." And Justin just run-on sentence.
Deuce goes on to say, "Well, defamation still remains in the lawsuit." Justin says, "Have you witnessed Lynette or Crook threaten Jeremy Hales or George?" "Never."
Oh, wait, can we back up a little bit? Because in my notes, I talk about how Justin asked him, "Is there a resolution to Fed 1?" And he said, "No.
They're in bankruptcy.
It's been stayed for bankruptcy." Remember, the bankruptcy idea was his idea to stay the case.
They are now going to lose everything in their life. It is literally underway right now.
Good job, Deuce.
Justin, what he got
paid
to
fuck up someone's life
from Lisa, from Deuce. All that money was on behalf of Lynette. It is all going to be recovered.
No
Justin
punctuation.
Is in there for 2 days. straight with all this insanity, and he's not even going to get paid. They're going to recollect. They're going to take that money back that was given to him, and he doesn't even know it yet. Although
well, he does
I
now.
have a feeling he's getting some insight now. Justin asks, have you ever asked others like Vomit or Paint Chips or anybody else, the Fleas, to threaten or harass Jeremy Hales and George?
Never!
Oh.
Okay. So that's all being said. Eli gets to come back up and re-cross-examine after the re-examination. I don't know the legal terms for that.
Direct.
So Eli comes back up, says, what period were you their lawyer? And Justin objects. He says there's no relevance, and the judge sustains, so it's not allowed to answer it. And Eli says, are you refusing to go back to Florida? Because if he does go back to Florida, arrest. And Justin objects, and then the judge abstains. Sustains, meaning he didn't have to answer it. At that point, they're done with Deuce, who had already incriminated himself. He told on himself on the record, under oath. He ambulance chased, contacted them. He wrote a motion in Florida that he was not legally practicing in, and they realized it. He told so much that is going to be used against him. And the same is true for the next witness that comes up, Tina, then Crook, then Lynette. This is just getting started.
Oh. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. It's gonna go really, really good. This is interesting. But you know, the whole Anti-Hales ecosystem over there is saying Jeremy's lying. He's not telling the truth. Has he lied about any of this stuff yet? That's going to be really interesting. So far, every time that we pulled one of these transcripts where they say he's lying, that never happened. Guess what? They're proven wrong. Time and time again. That's exactly what the judge says. That's exactly what happened. It's going to be really interesting. Well, you know, I think I promised you guys a little bit of something, and I've made this for Venom, and I showed it whenever she was on earlier. If you were here earlier, you got to see it, but well, enjoy, and I'll be right back after this short little break.
Venom, lady in black. She listening in the shadows, ready to attack. No warning shot, no polite hello. Has wicked grin and a toxic glow. She's dripping poison like gossip at brunch. A sharp bite and you become her lunch. Sexy till you're twitching on the floor. She's smirking in your face, then comes back for more. Bite, bite, baby, better say your prayers. Venom's got stilettos and homicidal flair. She's vicious, delicious, a queen with a sting. The sexiest nightmare you've ever seen. Pucker up, sugar. Mama's venom tastes sweet.
I thought you guys would like that. That's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty good. I think that's a good intro for Venom. And yeah, I had a little bit of fun putting that together. That was something that that and you know, the first one was good, but I was like, she needs a little something more. She needs a little, you know, a good intro, you know, because she's freaking awesome and we enjoy her. My hips would scream doing that. Yeah, mine would too. Banging. Yeah, I know. It's like, man, I'm looking good. just don't get too close. She bites. Don't want to get bit by venom. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I figured you guys hadn't seen that one yet. Yeah. Cool video and song. Yeah. That I put together for her, and it had a different video to it. And I just took some of those ideas and put them together. Can I make you a character, Shizzy? Need an ass like that. There you go. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm not good at making characters. She came up with the character. I just did what she asked. That's all. She was like, "Can you make this and do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can get that." It is easy. It's easy. It's fun stuff. Oh, I've learned from the flea. I don't want to catch falling rocks and end up toothless like her, chasing parked cars and all. Yeah, it does happen. It does happen quite often. You hit those blue buckets, you know, face first. You know, you next thing you know, you're letting a 19-year-old run off and, you know, have to be chased down. That was something that I found interesting. I really didn't think about that. Doesn't Jeremy's son, whenever they went like hunting him down, isn't he 19 and slightly autistic? But they seem more interested in Jeremy's son than her own grandson. A little freakish. But hey, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do. And all you have to do is do what you need to do. Reach over there, hit that thumbs up if you feel so inclined. And I do also want to thank you very much, Mama Lee, for the making you a character. That $5 super chat. Thank you so much. And I am adding that in there. That brings us up to a grand total of 45. And then, of course, all you other fine people that were so kind as to throw in the super chats there tonight. And I'll hit some of them, like Crystal Blue, throwing in that gifted membership. That is absolutely kind. To the Slightly Nuts. Oh yeah. And you know, that has been one of those things. Could you imagine there's them saying my name in a court? That just boggles my mind that they would sit there and go, "Lau, I think it's a great idea to say Shizzy Wiznut in a courtroom setting for your bail fund or a bottle of something to celebrate when we see the aunties, elemental P, elemental Q, JC, etc. get their comeuppance." Yeah. Whenever they get their comeuppance, if they do, I mean, sometimes these people get away with all kinds of stuff. And it's not going to be me judging them. I just tell the story. And then, of course, here and after with $10 saying here is to help enjoy. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And also, Colleen says for the transcript money, right there we are with the $10. And this is a beautiful thing. We are moving right along, and eventually we will have enough to get those transcripts. And no, we will not share it with the Lees. No. It is not going to happen. If they want to see those transcripts or hear those transcripts, well, they know what to do. They know how to go out there and, you know, work, make some money, do what you need to do. 245 thumbs up, 240 watching. Well, it is getting a little bit late. We've had a few people drop off because it's getting tired. You think 100 years from now, someone will read the old court transcripts and be like, "What the fuck is a Shizzy Wiznut?" Yeah, that is what is going to be even funnier. is they're going to be, and then we'll have to search it out. And whenever they search it out, they're going to find all of those wonderful letters, like time capsules. You know, that's what it'll seem like. It'll be like, it's like, ooh, there was this thing at one point in time. It was called YouTube, where people like got on and they spoke their mind and they did so freely. And then all of a sudden something happened and it wasn't there anymore. We won't know what ends YouTube, but hopefully not us. But you know, it is going to be quite interesting to watch how all this plays out. Hopefully I'll have my channel cleaned up and going soon. I hope so too, Jen. I hope that you do have it. You have to Shizzy Wiz what? Yeah, that's about the same. I am a superstar. I don't know about that. You know, I've played in front of large audiences, and I will tell you, this is much more fun, much more intimate. I will tell you. It is much more fun, much more intimate. I do miss touring. That was a lot of fun. But at my age, no, I wouldn't want to put my body through that stress. It's a lot of work. Only me would pay them the money to get the transcripts. Oh, maybe. So my legacy will be dumb ad libs and my goofy laugh. Great. Not all it will be. That's not all it'll be. We'll save a little bit for you, brother. But yeah, I'll probably go over those transcripts at some point. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe it'll be this weekend that I go over them. And I'll probably write a nice letter about it. Oh, nice open letter, of course, because why not? Why not? It'll be a blast. Everybody, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for the super chats. And I will be back on here again tomorrow. Send a little bit of prayer out to the wonderful Venom, and thanks for Venom being able to come by earlier tonight. But send her, you know, a little bit of the thoughts and prayers, because it looks like she lost power, and which means if she lost power, she's not able to get back on the interwebs in the foreseeable future. She probably has some bad weather wherever she is. So I appreciate you, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.
Breaking news or whatever. They're on another one. Gang, gang. Yeah. Gang, gang, emergency Zoom film at 11. Same 5 goons, same deranged obsession. This changes everything. Bro, it's page 47 of emotion they skin while half watching Yellowstone. Gang, gang. Squinting at 8-point font like detectives. Zoom so far and the pixels are screaming for mercy. Look at this, timestamps 2020, 22, my God. But they're yelling it like they just cracked Watergate. High five. Mike's been muted for 20 minutes, still barking. Circular logic, so a lot of time to seem impressive. Trust the plan, this is massive. Nah, fam, it's boilerplate and it's mid at best. Gang, gang. Self-appointed outrage, squad patting each other like they personally ended corruption. Gang. Dropping bombshell tea that's been sitting in pizza since breakfast. Gang, gang. Moral high ground, speed run, they'll flip the script the second it's convenient. Gang. Same PowerPoint presentation, new day, same brain dead narration. Gang, gang. We're not obsessed, we're just passionate. 3-hour living yesterday's hoodie, passion in my ass. Why is he even breathing right now? Says the guy refreshing notifications every 14 seconds. Gang, gang. Playing lawyer on God mode, reading comprehension. Stuck in elementary, confidence in the stratosphere, case dismissed. They're screaming to the void, motion still pending but go off I guess.
Disagree? Obviously a paid shill. Actually read the file and deep state plan. Laugh at them, you're clearly compromised too. Exist in the same zip code, suspicious behavior. Notify the group chat. Gang, 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 gang.
Tighter circle, smaller brain.
Gang, gang.
Echo chamber finally running out of oxygen. Gang, gang. Yeah, gang, gang, acting the actual judge like it's group chat. Replay all meltdowns, labeled just asking questions. Got warned by the core once, that was a suggestion. Still get it the same dumb screed like it's strictly trash talk. Gang, gang, we're above all this drama. While screenshotting, they on meltdown for content. Preaching peace and love while actively baiting bears. And fake shock when the bear finally bites back. How could this happen? Gang, gang, synchronized tantrum hours. 5 tabs open, all the same screenshot. Different zoom levels, gang, gang. Premature victory lap over legal language, still can't pause. Gang, gang, standing 10 toes on business until tomorrow's violence and I'm scrambling again. Gang, gang. Hype the claim to the moon, then ghost the chat when it ages like milk. Gang, gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, gang. Refresh, gang, gang. Gang, 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 gang. See y'all same time tomorrow. Gang, gang. Don't be late. Yeah.